107.5 FM.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEOs, banter with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you ain't know. The children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat Cape Town, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You want to get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV.
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Skidibidi dabado.
Spoon TV. Spoon entertainment.
Kua. Bese kua, go to there.
It's 3 minutes after 8 p.m. here in Liberia. It's been quite a, kind of mixed when it comes to weather. Today we had a mixed kind of weather. It was quite sunny throughout much of the day. And then we got treated to a heavy downpour of rain. So it's quite a cold night across the country. In fact, the rain was quite heavy with thunderstorm as well. And lots of roofs were lifted off, according to information we did gather. So the rainy season is still upon us, and we need to do what we need to do to make sure that our homes are secured, especially when it comes to our roof and whether or not we're in the waterway. My name is Diamond Slanger. I'm producing tonight. The rest of the panelists are definitely going to join the show. I'd love to welcome you to tonight's edition of the Spoon Talk, Liberia's premier talk show. And a lot of comments already flowing in via the dashboard that we have here. I love to say welcome to the Spoon Talk, wherever it is you listening to us from across Liberia. We love to say a pleasant night to you. For those of you watching us all around the world via our various online platforms, we love to say a good morning, good afternoon, and pleasant night to you. This is where you get it all packaged in one for you. Information, entertainment, some little bit of passionate exchanges, and the rest. I love to call it passionate exchanges, whether or not you want to call it heated. I love to call it passionate exchanges because everybody is passionate about Liberia one way or the other. A lot of things happening across the country as well. We'll be highlighting some of those trending issues across the country, and definitely go to the phone lines the first half hour of the show for Liberians home and abroad to tell us what's on their minds as well. But before I give you all of the updates and go to the phone lines, let me bring on Mr. Dwalu, who's in the background, and say hi to Mr. Dwalu, and then we can move forth with taking your calls and letting you know the trending issues happening across the country. Mr. Dwalu, pleasant afternoon to you. Dr. Richardson is looking radiant, colorfully radiant, as you say. Um, Richardson is, Dwalu, how are you? Doc, what's up?
I can't complain, my man. Father Richardson, welcome to the show. We're
I'm
here
good.
again to talk Liberia.
Yeah, hello, how you doing? You all right?
We super everything favor here.
Okay, so today I was doing conflict resolution with Spider-Man, Mickey Mouse, what are the other characters in him?
Hmm.
Iron
So
Man.
Yeah.
yeah,
Amen.
so if anybody can do conflict resolution with those characters in a 3-year-old, you good to go.
Yeah, let's try out with two and you fit in there too.
Don't talk about Betu because Betu recently in Kakata or crying my phone. Betu
So
wanted to eat packet food.
yeah, I tell you, it was just too funny today because I found myself having to negotiate whether this boy would take a shower or not, or he will continue playing the picking pong scramble. He said he won't continue playing. So I had to say, okay, why don't we put Spider-Man in a bathroom? Then he can take
Mhm.
out that. When I went to picking agree, I said,
A
Jesus.
compromise.
I said, yeah, that's
A
what
compromise. It works
I
out
learned.
okay.
I learned. It just re-emphasized that we always got to compromise one way or the other. But I swear to tell, like, oh my God, I'm at that
Damo,
stage.
how's the rains? It
Huh?
calming down? Those that see the rain in Liberia, Damo, it's still raining or
Yeah, it is still raining, Mr. Dwalo. In fact, we had a period of heavy downpour today. It
mm.
really rained, and some way somehow we managed to get to what we need to do. I was at your place on Saturday though, but it was a brief stop.
Yeah. That the rain are jobbing so
Really, Javi, eh?
yeah.
I keep all the time. I say I want to drink Kosu pepper soup. I'm going to Mr. Dwalu's place.
Aye.
Yeah,
So
Where
I'll
you
say
from?
welcome.
Where you came from?
Uh-huh.
some undisclosed location.
Okay,
Ah, all right. Oh, I will not even ask again.
come on, great you there the road good. You go come out and sing there. But try
And
it.
where suit too for that matter, they say.
But try it, you
Well, I
know.
will hear from Damo Moore. He said if that the road that good that he can go and come
Yeah, I
back.
didn't go that far.
Yeah, we ain't go
I
that
didn't go
far.
that far.
Huh.
Yeah, but I was in Calcutta, and I was somewhere around Bon County, the highway area there. Yeah.
No, but
And
Damo,
that
you
was
know that the French our country is not big. It's if we have decent road, you can go anywhere in the country and come back the same day.
I
Anyway,
agree.
it's
I agree.
approximately the size of the state of Ohio here. You can go anywhere in Ohio and come back the
I
same
agree.
day if we have decent roads. So the country is not that big. It's not that
And
big.
and and let me even add to even have connectivity throughout the country.
Yeah.
Like imagine I drove from and saw you this weekend.
Yeah.
I
And
had
you,
connectivity the entire time, 6 hours long. I mean, there was a brief interruption every now and then, but I was really appreciative of that and wish that I had that in Liberia,
so let me see, Dr. Francie. You're in Maryland, right?
in South Jersey. It
Okay,
took
you're
us
South Jersey. So you
six
didn't
and a
pass
half.
through Maryland.
No,
So the Jersey, Connecticut between your I don't know if you went by Delaware or you on the other side. Then
no,
before you
I
get to
went.
Rhode Island.
We
Damn,
went Jersey, New York,
uh-huh,
Connecticut,
Rhode
and
Island,
Rhode Island.
Rhode
A
Island.
little bit of Massachusetts, as you probably
In
know,
one day.
in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay,
if you
while
have,
you're connecting your dots in your United States of America, let me give my people updates from the
Yeah.
latest. Yeah,
Like,
because you're coming draw the American map for us
yeah.
and tonight on the show.
Dama, I beg you before you give the trending news. Let me
Yes,
just give
ma'am.
a shout out before I forget. We have an avid watcher, listener on Spoon Talk here, and they wanted me to say happy birthday to their mother, Miss Bu Thomas Gibson. Your son Wilbert Gibson, who is also my nephew, wants me to tell you happy birthday. He's very thankful that you're his mom. He also wants to tell his aunt, whose also birthday is today, Minita Stevens, happy birthday. So I just want to send a big shout out to both of you and thank you for watching Spoon and being an avid supporter of Spoon as well. So happy birthday. Don't want to forget that at all. All right, go ahead. Yeah, thank you.
That with the privileged position you enjoy, you could have even given 10 to 15 different shout outs, and that wouldn't have been a
Look
problem.
at trouble.
Who able to say don't do it? Me
I
for what?
abusing power. Some people in your country they abuse power.
Yeah, you had some presidential
They say
immunity.
that
They
that
say
the
they
boss
shut up
president.
anyway.
Me,
Do
I
anything.
will
They
not
say,
abuse my.
oh,
I
you
will
want
not
this?
abuse no privilege, no power. I will work strictly as I'm supposed to. Okay, because you know how
Relax.
to.
Anything you just say at the former CEO giving her power to
That's true
we
now.
request anyway, anyhow. But today we had an eventful, day in the country. I was at the executive mansion early this morning when the ECOWAS, the president of the ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency Umuru Toure, and his delegation paid not a courtesy call, but an official call on the president of the Republic of Liberia. They had a closed door meeting, and we were privileged to have listened to the introductory stages of the meeting. According to His Excellency Umuru Toure, he was in the country with his delegation to formally congratulate President Boakai in the Republic of Liberia, the tremendous democratic strides that we've made, and those were just the sweet talks prior to the introductory stage of the meeting. And then after the meeting, we had a brief interview with him, and my question to him was, what precipitated his visit to the country? Is it based on a letter that was sent by former President Weah, or what this visit was in the making? He did say the visit was in the making. He had met with the Deputy Foreign Affairs Minister in Kenya, and he had planned to visit Liberia, speak to President Boakai, discuss regional security, reconciliation, post-electoral nation building, and all of that. And coincidentally, the letter from President Weah was in the same time span as of his visit to the country. Either or, if that was a diplomatic way of saying no, we don't want to discuss whether that led us into the country, but that was what he said. But the fact that the ECOWAS communication did mention reconciliation and post-electoral nation building, that was a coded word to have let us know that they needed to speak to both sides, that is the opposition and the ruling party, concerning maintaining the our democratic tendencies that we have in our country, the gains we've made. But key amongst what he said was the fact that the sub-region is going to support Liberia's bid to be a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Liberia will be vying for a non-permanent membership, which lasts for 2 years on the UN Security Council. There are 15 members, 5 permanent, and then 10 rotational on a 2-year basis based on region as well. So Liberia will be contesting for a spot on the United Nations Security Council, and he promised and pledged the sub-region's support to Liberia's bid in that quest as well. So that was the interaction we had with the head of the delegation. That's the president of the ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency Umuru Aliyu Toure. Also, trending in the country is the Magibi senator going to turn to Brani Samuka 2.0. That is the question that is looming all across Liberia. The fact that Senator Magio did run to the Supreme Court and sought a writ of prohibition on any further investigation by the LACC and other investigative authorities involving his role in a supplementary payroll and other acts that might be linked to his office. We know that the Supreme Court also issued a writ of prohibition on the 6 million case there involving the FIA and all of that. But others have said that the law is about precedent, and I know you guys will discuss that in depth today on the show. That if Minister Samukai at the time acted on the president's order and his actions were deemed to have been not productive and they were not in line with laws, whether or not Senator McGill is going to be the Samuka 2.0. That is something we're all looking out to see how it will pan out. But those supporters of the senator have said he's going to come out of this case unscathed, and that is going to lead to more cases of such that he will win. But those who are not the supporters are saying that if it happened to Brownie, it's likely going to happen to Senator McGill, and we should watch out how this is going to play. Still on the legal side, though, the Supreme Court on tomorrow is going to hand down opinion in the Gloria Musu-Scott appeal case. The Supreme Court on the 16th of July listened to arguments from both sides and reserved ruling, and is going to, on tomorrow, handle down its opinion whether or not there was enough evidence to have convicted the former Chief Justice and 3 others of murder, criminal conspiracy, and making false statements to law enforcement officers. So tomorrow we'll be following up that case. It's a big ruling, Mr. Dwalu, is going to be a big opinion in the country that is going to see whether or not the former Chief Justice and three others are going to be, allowed to walk free. That there was not enough evidence, whether the trial judge ignored certain things, whether the prosecution were unable to. But the prosecution did say there was no evidence of jury tampering, nothing of that sort, and there was sufficient evidence to have convicted the former Chief Justice and three other co-defendants on the charges of murder, criminal conspiracy to commit murder, and making false statements to law enforcement officials. So we'll be following up on that tomorrow. The entire nation, you should watch Spoon Network, the Spoon TV, will be there live on the grounds of the Temple of Justice on tomorrow. The GAC is ranked number 1 in West Africa. The General Auditing Commission has been ranked number 1 in Africa based on the metrics that deals with independence, efficiency, and the rest of those criteria. So the GAC came up with a score of 8 over 10, making it the highest ranked auditing institution in the sub-region as well. So kudos to the GAC and all those there, and we look forward to more of our integrity institutions ranking and scoring higher marks. They did get a congratulatory message from the government of the United States of America as well. All right, so still in Liberia, METEC has suspended its operations in Liberia indefinitely, according to the METEC communication, based on a ruling from the Justice in Chambers. And in that regard, the LRA has also issued a statement that if you have your containers to clear and the rest, you have to use port services, you will be paying to the LRA Custom Department directly, but without charges for inspection. So until that can be resolved, according to the LRA, brokers and the rest who have got port services to use, you wouldn't pay for inspection, but you pay the rest of the other charges that will be applied. So meaning probably if you do your mass data registration, if you manage inspections fee, that is a lower rate that you'll be paying until that can be resolved. But METEC has closed down its offices. You saw the communication, Dr. Richardson. I'm sure you guys will go in depth on that. To close, before we go to the lines, and you guys can just weigh in a bit before we go to the lines, the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, NPHIL, have said there are no confirmed cases of mpox in Liberia, amid reports that were circulating all across social media that there were 6 confirmed cases in Sino County. NPHIL has come up and said, nope, there are no confirmed cases of mpox in Liberia, but yet and still we should follow all of the preventive measures and report suspicious cases to be tested whether or not they are confirmed cases of mpox. But as it stands in the country, according to the National Public Health Institute of Liberia, there are no confirmed mpox cases in the country thus far. So those are some selected headlines, thought to share with our folks to update them before Liberians tell us what's on their minds. Dr. Richardson and Mr. Dwalu.
Yeah, I mean, great headlines, great progress in the country. We will continue to talk about them. Hopefully there was an improvement. I want to say big congratulations to the GAC. I believe it's headed by Gaswa. I believe that's his name.
Yeah, Gaswa Jackson.
Mr. Jackson, continue to maintain your independence. We have to push for the independence of your republic. Your loyalty is not to your bosses or to whoever appointed you. It's to the republic. Continue doing what you do, sir. And every other independent agency in the country, you have to serve the republic, not yourselves. Dr. Francine.
Yeah, I joined you, Dwalu, Diamond, in the Spoon Network, and just congratulating the GSC, leader for his hard work. And I'm sure he's going to continue doing the work of the Liberian people. This is what it takes. It takes, a lot of critical thinking, a lot of, different people talking and communicating to come out with great results. It's not an independent, isolated decision-making process like, we've seen in the past in our country. So Liberia is getting better. I think that's in the words of one of our deceased journalists. Liberia is getting better. I think that's what he always said. So yes, that's a good thing.
Was it Yakete?
Yes, I think, yeah.
Peace to him.
I just remember him saying that. And also I think that we should say kudos to Spoon Network in the past few days. We've been giving a lot of like information to the people. Like I always say, we may not have all of the information. And somebody I met a couple of weekends ago said, even a little that you guys gave us, we can filter through, we can make some decisions. So you guys, thank you for bringing up the information. So I just wanted to say that we're getting there.
Small.
What's more? Hmm.
I'm gonna go to the phone line, or you will recognize a few people while you're getting prepared to go to the phone lines.
Yeah, let me just announce the number quickly. The numbers, I should say, Mr. Dwalu, and then you can recognize a few of our folks, and then we can take calls as well. The phone lines are already buzzing, but the numbers to call: 0777 101075. Those are the numbers to call. We'll be changing the WhatsApp number today, so that we give you a number that you can call and get the show. Whenever we on live, we're working on that. We've been using numbers belonging to us, and sometimes as a value, even after the show, people watch the repeat of
Yeah.
the show. So when you sleeping,
Funny.
1 2 a.m. people calling to participate. So we're working on getting a static number that will just be for the show, and will be left here in the studios as well. We appreciate you calling and wanting to participate, but there is a time span for everything. So, Mr. Dolly, recognize the folks quickly. If you can do that before
Yeah.
I go to the lines and take Liberians to tell us what's on their minds.
Yeah, my brother Ishmael Amar. Yeah, my man. Go with, I'll be out there soon. Hopefully, Nelson. Dear man, how you doing? You're watching from Iowa. I see Elton, Papi Gray, Mr. Gray. How are you doing, sir? Abel Kanga, Mr. Kanga, Abu DB. How you doing? Abu Florence Boker, Malam Boker. How are you? Is this Momo Johnson out of Pennsylvania? How you doing out there? Charles Barkley, Mr. Barkley, how are you doing? Nasser Denois, Mr. Denois out of Minnesota. Mose Dubé, New Delhi, India. How's going out there in India? I see Sando Brunel, Mr. Brunel. How are you doing? Sita Herman, Pearl Campbell, Pretty Pearl, what's going on? Stanton, I don't want to hear it. My Janet's son. Sekou Mohammed, how you doing, my brother Mohammed? Louis Merchant, Mr. Merchant. Honorable George Watkins Jr., how are you doing, sir? Victoria Blama Cooper, Whiteland, Indiana. David Akwawala, out of Oslo, Norway. Welcome to the show, Norway. I see Celia Kamara out of Louisville. I guess that's how you guys call it out there. Elijah Innes from Riverside County. My beloved Riverside, how you doing out there in Nibonkuni? I see Julius Bento, Mr. Bento. How are you doing? Thomas Colleton. Everybody, man, from across the country, you're welcome. Let's talk Liberia Damo. It's up to you, my brother.
Yeah, Mr. Dwalu. Bloomberger is here, but we'll go to the phone lines. Just a quick question, because it just got to my mind when you spoke the pastor.
Mhm.
One guy called me,
Mm.
and he and his friends were in a heated argument.
Mhm.
You know the question you called to ask?
Mm.
Whether you from Bomi or you from Grand Basso. so he said, Tamo, just tell me please, because I tell them, they say Mr. Dalu for Bomi, they say Mr. Dalu la Basso, man. I said, but chief.
No, but yeah, it's here.
So please answer the question.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's listening.
Yeah, I'm from Bomi. If we go by your part try, and you know what I'm saying? I'm probably that didn't go that better man. But I consider myself Basso man because all I know. I
Mr.
grew up
Dalu.
in-
Yeah, the men want to know whether you from bombing, as in when we take our father's tribe as we do in Liberia, or you from
Bomi.
But at the same argument, the men called to ask me that question.
Bomi.
Even where?
Bomi. Hey,
All right.
Sedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me say something to this.
Hey,
Let me fair. I'm not allowed to speak on this
You
issue.
from Maserado, man. You're not from, don't say Grand Cru, from Maserado.
No, I'm not from Grand Cru.
Sano.
No, I was born in Maserado, but I have
I was born in Maserado too.
originality Lexington Sano. So I understand.
You not go there?
I'm not. Yes, I went there before. I went there once in Lexington. I went there during the election of last year, the first election. I think it was 1997, I believe, right?
Yeah.
The first election. I was presiding officer for one of the polling stations in Sano.
Wow.
Yeah, right in Greenville itself. Yeah. But again, it's not what I'm about to talk about. I'm troubled that you cannot tell the Liberian people where you're from because you have political interest to run in Grand Basin. So be bold and tell the people, say, I'm from Bombay. You afraid of Edwin Snow? That's why you cannot be identified with people from Bombay. Damn, you get what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
I mean, there's something pushing you away from Bombay. You got Alex Tyler, you got Edwin Snow, you got Richard Devine, you got Soko, you got all of them. It's something pushing you away from Bombay.
I know nothing about Bombay. That's what I know.
Okay, we'll leave that one. But maybe because of the other thing that we cannot explain the reason why you're joining Basel, because we know your other relationship in Basel, we can explain it later. If you permit me, I will. But the people coming on the show, they want to hear some sound discussion. Do you on your way to Liberia? May God rest with you, be with you, keep you. And you know, for 4 weeks, you go to Liberia and you will extend it again for another 4 weeks.
I'm not for 4 weeks. I know you going for. I'll open ticket. I don't know when I will come back. It depends.
No. She told you to go for 4 weeks. Buying open ticket is another conversation. But the time frame given to you is 4 weeks. So I'm not lying. So let's set it straight. Go for 4 weeks. If you want to beg to stay, then we understand. I mean, listen, you don't need to tell me because I know. I have document to that effect.
I mean, let's start the show. Stay doing.
The message, my man, because he doesn't.
You already defeated.
Yeah, I give up. I show you the website.
Just tell my beginner say your rewind that clip. That's all, and we'll be fine. All the beginner at the station, they are mafia. They will rewind that video and we'll be fine. But let's move on. Where is Fadika? Fadika got a message from Yeke Koduba. You saw that message?
Yeah.
Can you upload that thing?
Did you? I just want to play that message. Yeah.
Let me try and get it.
Every time you for our show, but let's have fun small. I know we welcome the people. You did that already. Let's keep.
Thank you. Don't mind. Don't leave me alone. Anyway, I go to play out.
No. Yeah. The same thing about the Fula people. Anyway, you find it at a country. I gotta be my man Alpha Job, but anyway, you find it at a country.
But you know, Stanton, I hope one day we get to the point in Liberia where they play you born, you raised at a country. Trap should not be. So. Yeah, I think supposed to be.
Yeah. It's not about your power trial, your man trial. That's why you're right. I would agree to that one. Seriously,
but some of us are already thinking that way.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
I don't even think about tribing.
It's not a law that said that your power trial, your man travel.
It's just a little tradition people follow, and you know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't think that way. I have so many homes in Liberia, and I've been to so many places. Yeah, my parents just scattered all over the place. So,
I mean, you're right. So at the end of the day, I'm looking for this video. Anybody can get the Yeke video.
The Yeke video, I'm already trying to upload it.
Okay.
I hope it's small.
Can you also upload a Kula Fufana video? I think you were the one that asked him her question, right?
Yeah.
Was it you?
Yes, sir.
Down.
Yeah.
Let down begin. I couldn't begin. There's a reason why he went there today to ask question. We're digging a Damon. Yeah, I'm chasing you.
Who thought Damon? Damon was that Damon following?
Yeah, there's nobody stupid here, man. The begin thing was kind of crazy, yeah. I know the man speak. I'm ready for it, yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, we about where is Fadiga? Before Fadiga come on, we want to play this thing. Where Glenny? She went back. Glenny, come on. Hey, I get something for Glenny tonight. Somebody send this in to me. I play to live. Somebody posted something on Facebook. I will show it to Glenny tonight. Folks, where you are? You're gonna start the show. You share the show.
Your video is almost done.
It's ready. I have the information which is so disturbing, Damo, Dr. Richardson, that the embassy have denied some lawmakers and other individuals, denied them from coming to America.
Falika, don't call me. We are not friends. You came Lolo for your job, find your job, and go back. People say, I left my 5 job in America. You been in the hotel now for almost 7 months. You tend to PRO for government. You can get job. You can go do your 5 job. Y'all go by, y'all go do your job. You know, Fadika, don't call me. I don't like your job. And I want you to deny that you didn't call me. Then I will put your number to the public and go for my call log so the people can know that you call me. I challenge you to deny it.
Wow. Wow. You're welcome to the show. I'm waiting for Fadiga to come and respond. That one.
Yes, sir.
What's going on between Fadiga and Yeke?
You know, Representative Koluba always says he doesn't like a place that is quiet. And whenever he's in the country, he likes to announce his presence whenever he's in the country. And it will surprise you to know that all of that, if Fadiga takes the phone and calls him, he will pick the call and they will talk. Yeah. So, yeah, you mind all of the public,
No. The message will not talk to Fadiga. No, you say you will not. Let's play one more time. I'm not saying that. The message he will not talk to Fadiga. So listen. I woke up this morning. Yeke sent me the video. And when I listen to the video, I said, well, Yeke, what's going on? And let me call him. He said he will answer. He sent me the video. So let's play again.
Fadika, don't call me. We are not friends. You came Lolo for your job, find your job, and go back. People say, I left my fat job in America. You been in the hotel now for almost 7 months. You tend to PRO for government. You can get job. You can go do your fat job. Y'all go by, y'all go do your job. You know, Fadika, don't call me. I don't like your job. And I want you to deny that you didn't call me. Then I will put your number to the public and go for my call log so the people can know that you call me. I challenge you to deny it.
Dualu.
Yeah.
That's what Richard said. It's an open challenge. Fadiga calling Yeke for what?
Yeah, but Stanton, let's be fair here. That Fadiga country, coming to Liberia and being part of the decision maker is not necessarily seeking job to me. That's not how I see it. So I understand Yeke's position and I see where he's coming from, but Fadiga has the right to want to become part of the decisions being made in this country. I see nothing wrong with that.
But Yeke said don't call him. You're forced to call him.
But if they can go and say hello to him, man.
No, Yeke don't want it.
Yeah, but just because you don't want something, all they get away, you not approach, they want it, and you force it.
Not me. You starting problem, and you starting, you know you want to start that avatar. You trying badly. You trying about Yeke and Fadiga.
problem.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we talking about Yeke. The man that moved the goalpost. Then I ran to tell the man, say, oh, my mister, let's move on. Let me bring down Richardson. On a serious note.
I got my wet flag.
When you put a white flag on, then you start shooting. No. Man, if you put a white flag up, it will be up. Don't shoot on it. That's what Richardson.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of concerned. He telling Fadiga, don't call me. Yeke is hurt. Fadiga come on the show and say all kind of things about Yeke. Then in the back, he called Yeke. In the back, he want to apologize.
You're the right person here that was
No. Let me hear you.
Yeah.
No. In the back, he want to apologize. And Yeke said, Fadiga, don't call me. Yeke call me. Yeke is so angry. Fadiga, I expect you to be a straightforward man. But let me hear you, Dr. Richardson. I want to play one more time. Let me hear you.
You know, I wish Yeke could answer your phone call, you know, so he can tell us exactly what time that Fadiga called him and what was the
you don't see time, so you don't believe Yeke, huh?
I believe Yeke because, you know, he and Fadiga are friends. They have all rights to talk.
No, they are not. They are not. Yeke said they are not.
They are not.
That offensive. Don't clean the team, man. The man said they are not. Yeah.
Fadiga should not because they are not friends. Is it Fadiga? You are not my friend.
But who determine whether you friends with somebody or not?
You yourself determine that.
Well, one side of friends.
You get my friend. Even if you want
you want to tell Fadiga taking this in a big joke. He say you guys are friends.
I can't go around.
So you hold on.
I don't know that I'm not friends with you.
Yeke is a professional colleague.
Hold on. Yeke is hold on.
I'm not know as far as I'm concerned, we could be both. You myself could be professional.
You want to come live?
And also,
But fatiga skala yeke, you are gonna fatiga
also,
skala yeke.
I think what you said is quite right. The part about Yeke's comment that I disagree with, and Liberia belongs to all of us. It runs through every single one of us. If Fadiga wants to stay in Liberia, whether he got job, he got job, that is his prerogative. He can stay in Liberia as long as he wants and do whatever he wants to do. We all got to defend Liberia some way or the other.
Okay. Now the Richardson, I beg you, y'all, the representative here. Representative Yaka Koluba, the clip was sent to me, and I beg you, Fadiga is saying something different. What's the issue with Fadiga on the show?
Look, Fadiga and myself, we are not friends. We have never been friends. I was out of the country. Always listening to Fadiga discussing me on the show, saying other things about me, and that he right to say what he want to say. But he shouldn't call my phone. I don't like his call. If he did not, that he didn't call me, I will ask Selcom to give him my call log and send you my call log, and you will find his number on my call log. That's all I can say. I'm not going to go further.
But what if Fadiga wants to be a friend, Yeke?
No, I don't want to be his friend.
What did he do again? What did the man do to you?
No, I know who my friends are. I can choose my friend. Nobody can choose my friend.
That's right.
Okay.
You are
But
one.
you said Fadiga went in there.
Like I resolve that Waka can never be anybody to me. I choose who my friends will be.
So like in this on Fadiga, you just came back on the country. The first thing you talk about Fadiga, what did he say specifically?
Not this far, or the Fadiga did not that he didn't call me.
Fadiga, did you call Representative Yaka Koluba?
I see what time we talk.
He said, what time you talk? You
It's
know?
not about the time. It's not about the time.
What's the nature of the conversation?
No, it's not about the nature. I say he will not call me.
But what are you talking about?
The man serious. The man said, don't call him. I mean, I respect Yaka.
Come on,
Yaka,
brother Yeke, what are you talking about? Tell the people.
And the Richardson, I say he shouldn't call me. I don't like his call. Anybody that I don't need your call, I don't need your. I choose my friend.
But you said Fadiga left his job, $20,000 in the hotel sleeping. Why would you go that far?
Say I left my good job. You say who over there say when you want to look for job, you say I left my good job. You know in Nigeria there's no stealing in America. You don't have the time to steal. Only in Nigeria you can steal. So when you're coming to steal, you will come steal. And you will say I left my good job. But in America no stealing. When I find out
but not all of it. The issue is that you said you attack Fadiga. And when you attack Fadiga is on the show, he must answer. Fadiga just denied. He said he have never called you.
No, I call him. We talk.
Oh, what is that, Fadiga? What is that?
I call him. We talk.
Oh, you call him?
When he was before he left, you were at the airport when we talked. He said we're going to talk.
Oh, you talked to him?
Yeah.
I remember Yaga message begging you, he call you. But the message he begging you, he call you.
Ask Yeke how long he been knowing me.
I think Honorable Koluba is mad with Fadiga for a reason, and they will iron out their differences. They are friends.
No, but I just let you say this, right? I'm surprised that Fadiga, everything he told me this morning, that he didn't call Yeke, that Yeke was lying. Now he on national set afraid because Yeke said, I will show the call law. He said, yeah, I called Yeke. Yeke was at the airport. I mean, if you know that you call the man, say you call the man. Listen, if you want to beg Yeke and appeal to Yeke to leave you alone, say it openly. Don't be afraid.
I beg you, forgive me.
But still, though, why you acting like Yeke? That's when I do the man call you a video.
I mean, you don't know if you call Yeke. Yeke can program. You call Yeke, Yeke will deliver.
Yeah, I let Yeke business, so I get proud with that.
Yeah, I let Yeke business.
I'll call Yeke go way back. Don't worry, make it all.
No, but
Yeke myself go way back.
You're not his friend. You were saying that right at the man said it, so don't.
Yeke, how Yeke friendship looking?
Amen. Amen. Who experienced Yeke friendship more than me? Today, you're not his friend, you're not his brother in law. The next second, amen. Where you at? Leave that one alone. Yeke got to say something. And at the end of the day, we want to say welcome to the show.
Yeah, myself talk good.
The message may invest.
No,
That
because
is
I say he can take his employee money.
No, but let me say this, so guys. What Benny? She came back, she left.
Yeah, you want to put me you can go. You don't go back. Hey,
Yeah,
yo,
that's all right.
No, begging you gotta
whatever
be a
leave
friend.
me,
No, begging the man to be a friend, so you gotta be quiet on what you say, yo.
But I want to say something though. I want to say this, folks. We get enough time. We get like 20 more minutes before we even start officially. But I'd like to say this to all Liberians. That Richardson, Dualu, Paul Kennedy, Fadika, Damo. Why is it the American is denying our lawmakers, ministers, directors, most of them from coming to America? I thought this thing was only limited to the past government.
That's not another reason why.
Information reaching us, and I want to get your view. This is just a sad thing. Yeah. We'll talk about our topic, but information reaching us. Yeah. They have denied some prominent senators, representatives, people of high-end relationship that you least expect. They deny them from coming. They deny them visa and put them on administrative processing. And the thing, administrative processing is a domestic sanction. It's just like, because you cannot come, you will be on administrative processing forever. A lot of them. I really want us to speak to this briefly. This is not part of our conversation, but why? And we got the names. Both from the UP Alliance and outside of the UP Alliance. So America cares less about your political affiliation. You can support Joseph Boakai, you support Joseph Boakai, but this thing that they are denying them on administrative processing. And some of them now got to find themselves in Dubai, in China, in the Arab Republic, in Bangladesh, because there's no way to come to America. Let me hear you, Dr. Richardson. Something seriously happening here, and I want us to pay attention to it.
See, so the United States told us that they're moving to, giving sanctioning the entire country, allowing the poor people to suffer. So now they are sanctioning, individuals who, are accustomed to leaving the country when things get difficult for, the average Liberian. And so they spoil the way for others. They some people who have not even abused their visa process, they already have spoiled the way because they're always jumping out of the country to come when something small happens, or when they come here to shop for the kids, they have the children here, they come here for hospitalization and all of those different things. So the American government said, look, listen, I'm not going to allow the average or the poor people in Liberia to suffer. You guys will suffer just as much, because we are going to put our, like you said, in-house, in-country sanction on you as well. So that's the way that I see it.
Thank you. And people got to understand where we come from. Glennie, if you're ready, put your hand up. I don't want to bring you in on the way. Thank you. Well, again, let's just try this. Let's try this seriously. Dualu, I mean, you seriously put on your military hat, and you have traveled a lot. Do you think this is so concerning for our country that prominent people in government cannot travel? They are on strong restriction, Dualu?
Prominent thieves. Look, my sister Finasa, thank you very much. Labro Gu, let them stay ready. Let me say this. Let's get serious. The Americans are going to help us to the extent that we can help ourselves. They know the little nitty-gritty details of what's happening in the country. They fully understand the political actors that are destroying that country, that have massively destroyed the future of that country. They've told us repeatedly who the thieves are, and yet and still we continue to put them in place of prominence. They can't interfere to that extent, but what they can do is to deny these criminals from coming to their country. Look, I want to say this unequivocally here today. Everybody will come on the show and say, allegedly, technically, it hasn't been tried. They intentionally don't go to court. They block the cases from going to court, and they say, well, it is alleged. For 10 years, it is alleged. It is alleged. That is intentional. When anybody uses the word election Liberia, what they're saying is screw the judicial system, screw the people of the Republic of Liberia. I will never go to court. I will continue to say technically I wasn't convicted, even though all the evidence shows that I looted this country with total impunity. And yet and still we say alibi and allow this country to rot. The Americans are just playing their part. We have to act as well.
Thank you, Dwala. Let me bring in Fadiga. Fadiga, this issue is getting bigger by the day. We can name the senators. We can name, I know them, okay? I know them. We can name folks, both representatives and senators and folks in the government, the executive. So let me ask you, look at the bigger picture. America is putting them on administrative processing, which is totally denied. You cannot come right now. You must wait. We are verifying. We are doing check. We're crossing everything. You will stay in your country. You will wait. Now, most of them trying to link themselves to the UNGA. But you got to understand, experience from George Manawia, the United Nations, only responsible to send for your country president. They're responsible for your vice president and all the other people. So therefore, they have denied them and put them on administrative processing. Now they want to go on a UNGA. It's rough. It's tough. Talk to me, Fadiga.
Well, I hope to get more on this issue, but I'll just say this based just on the surface what I think is going on. Look, the world have changed. One of the blessings of the Salif administration was there was no Manisky, and we didn't have the level of scrutiny that we have now. And I think that was a blessing for the Salif administration. There were so many things that happened at then that just flew on the radar. I think the Americans have grown tougher. We saw that with the former ambassador and the way they are going around with these targeted sanctions. So I don't know whether they have anything to do with it, but I do know that the American is becoming more vigilant and more involved with our politics, even though they're not very explicit about it. So I would think that something may be going on. I look forward to getting more detail. Probably if we had a couple of names, then it would give us an insight into exactly, because there are some people you would just know off the back that it may be one or two reasons why they are either being denied or put on some administrative hold. So like I say, if there's any devil, it's in the detail, and I look forward to seeing some of those details.
Thank you very much. Let me bring in Paul Kennedy, the man that will fear nothing, because Fadiga got to be careful. Whenever he do his usual spin, he look forward for detail, or the letter is not too clear. He want to know who wrote it, whether it's true, it's not too clear, or he look forward to see the devil in the detail. We pass now, okay? Not to be Paul Kennedy.
Look, stand on. Anytime you see a bunch of white people running around Monroe without shame, when you on that Benton Street, you see them,
and they're jogging. They're jogging.
You see them acting like they're jogging, passing around, thinking that information they're trying to find. They are there. They live there. They understand what's going on. They literally see the hardship. In 2020, the U.S. government pulled out 240 Peace Corps out of Liberia. You know that? For lack of access to cash. That was their explanation. The week after that, they denied a lot of people visa. At least when you are not denied, so let me correct you, Stanton, administrative processing or administrative reason is not a denial, because they could hold your passport for 1 year, and the next year they actually give your passport back with visa in it. So when you are booked or called out for administrative reasons, it's either you've applied for visa and your information not conclusive, they are setting, suspicion about some of the answers you give. I mean, administrative processing can be as much as the counselor look at you through the window and see you get OPT and say, we let OPT people. So it is a vague process with the American government system. And it's not only in Liberia, it's all over the world. When they put out administrative reason behind you, sometimes they call you back the next day and they give you a visa, your passport with visa. Sometimes they call you back with denial. So I am not sure why they are denying or holding back Liberians from coming to the U.S., but why are they coming? And it's America, they have given America more than America has given them. Somebody who went to school here come and stand on a podium and say, America are not giving you. You are here going to school. You probably took student loan that you never pay back, but then you stay and become an ingrate to a country that's giving you up. Liberia is my first country. Next to Liberia is America. Like America and Ghana playing. I will support America over Ghana because all of what I know and have become in my lifetime was given to me on a white platter by the United States. So for me to be ungrateful to them, even God punished me in that kind of thing. So
Thank you.
they deny visa, that punishment, God punished me.
But I would say this before I go to my sister Glenn back. Let me say this, and I will bring in Dharma. You know, we're doing this thing, and you know, we gotta be. Listen, Paul Kennedy. Look at every one of us here. Dr. Francine Chinwe Richardson, Mr. Tuaru and the people. All Fadiga, UJ Fadiga, Dharma and Slanger. Glenny, my pa was Associate Justice. Genius. Look at everybody here. Glenny, I'm sorry. I had to put out what you said. My pa, we started the show, yo. We didn't even test nothing here. Yo, share the show. Let's have fun. But this is serious. The issue with administrative processing, I will agree with you, my brother. But when it comes to the lawmaker, they are different. They are different. When it comes to the lawmakers and the directors and ministers in the executive, they are different. Because you know why? There's a reason why something did it. Do you know somebody today on administrative processing almost 10 years now? You want us to start calling names? Do you know most recently, this representative had no reason why he was denied. This is his first application to come to America. He sent in, Glenny, the man saying his regular passport, the ECOWAS passport. They said no. He's saying it's official. This representative, they kept it. They said no. I'm not calling his name. I talked to him. He said, my man, stand on the what happened? I said, my man, you're on domestic sanction. He said, on what? He said, but I do nothing. I didn't fight war. I do nothing. I can do. I said, my man, you better watch. They denied the man. Then I told him, I said, you know what you need to do? As a lawmaker, go and meet the ambassador. Have a sit down with the ambassador. He said, oh man, and I tried. The people say they will call me when they're ready. I am telling you, I am telling you about who I spoke to. Glenny, they are denying them. Honor the condition, administrative processing. It's not no kakalika because they see your open teeth, they don't like you. No, it's because the people are coming down with something like what we received today. We can confirm that in the next 2-3 months, if all is well and the information is true, that under this government, 4 individuals going for sanction, we're going to start saying it again. Because people say, oh, they will not do it. Samatua say it will not happen. Chelsea Koji say it will not happen. Natano Mage say it will not happen. We were blowing our whistle. We were announcing it, and it came. Today, the information I received, 4 individuals. I will hold back the name for the appropriate time. My sister Glenny talked to me. Administrative processing, is it concerning to this administration and this government?
Hello, everybody. It's good to be here. Baby T, how you doing?
I'm okay.
I appreciate you whenever I hear you. I know that on the topic, but I gotta appreciate you whenever I listen to an interview and you're present, and I like to hear you speak, and I like to hear how profound you are when you ask questions. So good job today. I always follow you. I am a fan of yours, Daniel. Diamond, let me tell you, I'm a huge fan. You can speak good English. unlike your crew boss. Anyway,
No,
thank you,
putting me
Cynthia. I heard you are asking that you didn't want to bring me on. Well, I mean, no, you
So,
acting like you
so,
could
so,
stand.
so, that's the issue. I got a microphone. My staff can speak good English than me. Then take the day off. We'll bring you on tomorrow. We'll bring you on tomorrow. So, Bertie, go ahead. Talk for her. That's good English, right? I tell her often that good English.
It's called exonerated.
Yeah. And I'm bad.
English.
You know, sit to the topic, you won't pick on me, but you know what? I pick on her first, so she won't give me a job. You know, Glenny, my father, lawyer, Junior. Glenny, go ahead.
But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of I don't know. I don't know, Cynthia, because it's like, why would they be denying them so early, unless they've done something, unless they're being watched? Domestic sanction, I think it is. I think there are 4 different kind of sanctions. I believe it's something there. So who knows? We'll hear more about it. The thing about the American people, they don't keep secrets too long. Pretty soon they'll if there's something that's hitting under all of this denial, they'll publish it soon. They don't hide the
But Daniel, hold on. Madam Salih's time, right? Let's check this out. They had a lot of them. It started with Chaseda. They lifted a session. Mm-hmm. You can call the name. I'm not calling the name. Madam Salih, it hang on them. She begged for some of them. Mm-hmm. They took them all, but they said, you're not coming to our country. We're going to lift the sanction off you, but you're not coming to our country. Yeah, can Joe, we are. Do you know how many times Joe Howard Taylor came to this country? With only one condition that Joe Weah must approve, and she was restricted from going any other state, only the state she came to. Do you know that? Mm-hmm. Under the same condition. Mm-hmm. Administrative processing is pure denial. No matter how my brother Poker and they want to pin it. It's happening to current folks right now. When I received the information, I was told, don't call their names. Have you asked yourself, and if you are smart, I want to remind my brother Fadiga because he's so damn smart. How many times some of these folks went to the United States since this year, compared to last year when they took their break? Mm-hmm. If you come to America,
you already have a green card. We know
that's why I want to say you must be a citizen or you must have a green card. If you do not, that's an issue. So let's just fix it. It's important for us to say it as it is. And you know, they are watching.
They are.
They are watching us.
Yes.
The 45,000 card, Eduardo, that make you so mad every day. The 150,000 United States dollars that each lawmaker fighting LCE, right, Dama? And them, lace? Yeah. Let me share the document with you guys for you to see what's happening. Eduardo, you'll get angry because I always call your name because you always get angry. The people that begin to form their own company, lawmakers, and Americans are watching this thing. They established their own company.
I saw that.
Right? Yeah. Newly, they went to, what's the guy's name? The list boss. What's his name? Julius City. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
They are dictating to him that money belongs to them. It's not for the community. Senator, 150,000. Representative, 100,000. Duadu will point finger on Smith feet and say, this is why I want to do my project. Do it. Duadu will put his point man and say, talk to this guy. It was all created by Fonati Kofa, who is coming to America to speak to the UDA convention. Mm-hmm. It is all created by Fonati. You take the poor people money. You took the poor people money. Do the calculation. 3 representatives, right? Damo, I think I know them. 30 senators. That 103. Do the math. 30 times 150,000. Let me do the perfect key math. Somebody help me.
4
We'll
million
come back. What I want to start with you on this one, but I want us to do this. So can you do that thing quick? How much?
4,500,000.
We put that in the bag. 4.5. 100,000 representative. Going to representative. 73 representative to how much? 7.3.
7.3
million. 7.3 plus 4.5.
11 million.
$11.8 million.
That's a couple of schools, you know. And
$11.8 million. IMF was crazy mad.
Sickening.
Then you want to ask the people why they tell you to stay in your country? Do I want to talk to me, man? Talk to me why I share the information with you. Talk to me.
The one can maybe vet inside the whole team. They will go to these districts and they will tell our people, hey, I see what I'm doing here. That me and so Opa Zina Bolaka do I spend my own money to do the thing here. Let me tell you, I can tell you all the time that I want representative in the Republic of Liberia history that I take their own personal money and buy you Pangana. It never happened before in Liberia. Any money they give you, that your own money, where they steal, they take out 10 cents that the money they're giving you. There are no time ever in the Republic of Liberia's history that anybody who's serving government has given you free money. Low Stanton, you know, sometimes you would say we become militants. This country is in dire straits. I'm not exaggerating. You have to understand what we're playing with. My brother Paul Kennedy says something. America has made me. It's given me a lot. If I were in Liberia, probably in the bush of Bapuru County, setting a person trap. I am not exaggerating. Sometimes when you see me really angry, it's because I know the privilege that I've gotten. And I know the capability of our people. They got people in Liberia that are 10 times smaller than I am. No opportunity. They are stuck in no place. And we got people that just taking. They're just taking. How much money does woman need giving that in that society? On the show stand up before you came on. I tell the person on that day. For people to carry home $5,000 in the country every month, that's small thing. Don't let nobody lie to you. So in a country like Liberia, $5,000 is small money. Then they may taking 10,000, 15,000. They get car. They car. Then when they drive this money, you go back again. That kind of thing they're talking about over there. Those children, it's not as I get there. I don't get there. I don't cry. I can be seeing myself inside. Time that in radiance, and dirty water. Steady, slip on the mat on the ground. That I gave me a good fight you a whole day. In the ring. Go see our people in a rich country.
I'll take it from here. Listen, I can tell you. My brother who is in Delaware, Marcel Yunso said, she got back up right to Coward Junction. In front of this guy that came on Saturday, the food that guy, Alpha Joe, Pa Josto. We start hosting and we start changing money. You are right. This is embarrassment. I have information. I just took the person name off. One of them was denied a visa. I'm going to put it up, but I had to take the name off. If they push me, I will tell you all the lawmakers then that they refuse the visa.
You in the chat room again?
Huh?
You in the chat room again?
But yeah, nah, you know I did. You know I did.
You're not spirit.
You know I did. But the issue here is that it's bad. Ladies and gentlemen, share the show. It's going to get interesting today. $11.8 million. 11. That's more money.
That's more money.
After each of them walking home with almost 300,000 Glenny a year, when you put all the benefit, the car and everything, they have added 150,000 for each senator, 100,000 for each representative.
Let me give you information. If you divide that 11.8 million by $250 to say you will pay one person $250, it will pay 47,200 persons.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
47,200 persons is what 11.8 million will pay for 1 month.
And you know what is so sad is when it come sometimes when it come on the show and try to make divisive statements, you know, us in the United States versus them in Liberia.
They know I can here. They know I can here. Let them go get their own visa to come here. Let them leave me alone.
Yeah.
Listen,
and I think
you don't owe anything to them. Let them say whatever they want to say.
The thing about
Nobody
it
wants to be in the United States if you make Liberia a better place. That's all we are fighting for Liberia to be a better place. My daughter's in Liberia right now, spending time every day. She got to be uploading LEC. Imagine that, because she's running the 2 air conditioners like crazy. Even though it's cold for the people who live there, it's really hard for her, right?
Let me do this real quick. Let me do this real quick. Uncle Sam, welcome to the show. It's good to see you, Uncle Sam. It's very good to see you. Let me put this up, and I hope we're able to take this person's name up. Can we read this? Can we read this? Mr. Dwadu or Fadika, somebody with good eyesight or that can read better than me.
On the top, right? So that's August 12, 2024. It says, thank you for your interest in traveling to the United States. Your non-immigrant visa application has been refused under Section 221G of the Immigration and Naturalization Act of the United States, which prohibits the issuance of a visa until the following requirements are met. Please be advised that a U.S. visa purposes, this decision continues a denial of a visa.
All right, so I will read the last one, Mr. Dwadu. Yeah. You don't play with spoon. You don't do that tabata with us. We were exposed those lawmakers. Let me read this one. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't share the show, I will shut the program down and go home. Or you can listen to Fadiga that will tell a story. Now, listen to this, guys. Listen. Don't you see what the check back right at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Your case is subject to further administrative. Hey, Glenny, listen. Your case is subject to further administrative processing. Processing times vary widely and can take a year or more. We will contact you to schedule a follow-up appointment. The film what happens. You see that, Dwadu?
I see you was saying that somebody said America is not the only place. That can be 10 seconds to be a drink.
Hey, but let me do my own. Let me do my Yeah, I don't want to answer that. I want people to take the picture of the one. I got something up there I want to put up. Can you take the picture of the one? Most recently, the 12th. I think the 12th was almost a week or so, maybe 10 days ago or 13 days ago. Can you take a picture quick if you want it? We got to go. Ladies and gentlemen, as you're taking a picture, share the program. We're just getting started. Oh, after 9 now, we got to go into the main conversation. But again, if you think that you want this copy and put on your Facebook, I can tell you the person's name. If they don't find, I will call you their name. That's a lawmaker. I can call you his name. And before the show ends, I will call his name. That's a lawmaker. They deny the lawmaker. And this lawmaker decided to go to another country now because he cannot come to America. They deny him. Look at what it says, administrative processing. It is important for you to know, my fellow Liberian, your case is subject to further administrative processing. Processing times with S vary widely and can take a year or more. Not 1 year. Not 1 year. Oh man, there are people who stay in Liberia with you that cannot come. We will contact you to schedule a follow-up appointment. They say you must contact us. They say anything like that. They say we, the American government, the American embassy, will contact you when we're ready. Go sit down. You eat the people money, you want to run away from the country. Go sit down. You take the 150,000 and say that community engagement and you put it in your pocket. Go sit down. You say you wasn't taking for the $5,000 car. You took it, you say that's the law. Go sit down. You spend all that money and give it to yourself and you say you went on retreat. Go sit down. We must talk it. Don't the people stupid.
Can I say something about this letter? I did discover a lot of stuff on this letter though.
Go ahead.
So what this letter is saying, I don't think, so what a letter is saying is that
try your best.
Section 22, I did look up section 22, 221 of G of the U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Act. It means that the application is incomplete. So what is simply saying that the applicant did not provide some information or they omitted certain information.
Not true,
Wait.
No.
Let Fadiga finish. I beg you, sister. Wait.
So
Fadiga,
the,
you live in the country long enough to know the people there?
If that's a
no.
Richard say, let the
Sorry,
brother finish.
sorry.
So what
You
is
know,
what
Fadiga
is
got to try. He got
it
to have the
is
situation.
that they were denied because a lot of information that they did submit during the application process were incomplete. And this is another thing that they say was they wanted GT Bank receipt. They wanted also they wanted them to make a new passport or what? A new passport or for at least 6 months. They wanted them to show proof for education and a lot of different things. So either the person did a sloppy job or there is probably more. But based on what I saw in the letter when I read it, my understanding is that they needed medical exam. So I think it was just because of either sloppy job in the application process, but the application didn't say something. And if it is 221G, it means that missing information.
Thank you,
So they
Fadiga.
require information.
But Fadiga, it's nothing contrary to
Fadiga,
what
but
we are
also when
saying.
they put
Tell Richard so you can hear us.
sorry, yeah, go ahead.
You want to go first? Then go ahead.
I was gonna say, Fadiga, when they put you on administrative processing, I also looked that up. They said it's either you got incomplete documentation, which you are right, missing information, which you are right, prior visa denial. We don't know if this person had a prior visa denial, criminal history. Okay, now, Mr. Kennedy said you see the people that can be jogging up and down the streets and stuff like that. They know everything that going in America. They even got satellite station over Liberia. They said security concerns if they have security concerns. But most of all, for me, if they have suspicion of fraud, all they have to do is to be suspicious. They didn't even have to.
Because they did list the specific document that they wanted them to bring. So that was just worried that.
And but then they said administrative processing. In the end, they checked that box. So living in this country for a long time, I've seen them smile with me after reject me at the same time. So I know them very well.
All right, I mean,
you know, you're my friend, my brother Fadiga, but then when I'm holding water, a lot of people text me and say, Fadiga, stop it.
Yeah. You carry that passport back in that 1 year time, they'll deny you again. You carry all that information and carry the passport back,
to the embassy
they'll deny you.
for visa before, so I don't know. But I just basing this on the document that I read.
Let's welcome Uncle Sam to the show. Uncle Sam, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Do you want me to speak?
Yeah, if you want to add to this conversation.
Well, I mean, look, it is what it is. The United States getting a visa is like it's like actually rolling a what do you call it? Like a dice. When you're playing Ludo. It depends on whatever the consular officer, what they believe to be their gut instinct. Many times they get it right, but sometimes they get it wrong. And one thing about them is it is not subjected to review. The ambassador, the DCM, nobody can review. There's a Chinese wall between the political economic office and the consular section, right? In fact, we all know that there are two entrances. So if the consular officer believes that you are a risk, you may not come back, or there are some things that I think there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to swallow it and hope and pray and go back there. Starting at 6 million, but in this case with administrative stuff, I think sometimes they even hold a passport. I'm not sure, but sometimes they hold a passport. So and then I've been hearing lately there've been a lot of denial of Liberian government officials. I don't think it's political. I just think the Americans are tired. They want us to fix our country. They really want us to. It's just like, because the thing is like, when I go to Atlanta, after 1 week, I want to come back home because I have the comfort here, right? But millions of Liberians don't have the comfort here. They want to leave. They want to go to school, get an education, go maybe join the military, go do something over there. But we have to fix this place. And that's not just about Liberia. Africa as a whole, we just have to fix our place and make this place for inward migration and not outward migration. Africans crossing the Mediterranean in rickety boats and drowning, it's very sad. And we have what the needs center. This is paradise here, but we don't make it paradise. We make it very difficult, and so as a result, people bear the consequences. But I mean, I do feel bad for that person who didn't get the visa. I pray for him or her, and I hope that sooner or later they will get that visa. And when they get the visa, I hope they go and abide by the visa regulations. They stay there the amount of time they're supposed to stay there and be productive and come back. That's all I have to say.
And again, let me say this. It is important for us to do this. I want to welcome all of you. Damo, let's hear you. I'm seeing some document to upload. So let's hear you before you go. And talk to us. How do you think the country is actually embracing this news? Whether or not you talk about lawmakers or folks within the executive. What do you think?
Yes, you. So we're talking about officials of government here. Their way of applying for visa is quite different in a large stretch than ours. Many of them don't even go to the embassy to sit interviews. They send their diplomatic passports either with good note to the embassy and they issue visa. And the letter said you were denied. The top part of the letter says denial. And then the reason for the denial there stays further down, administrative reason and why. For a representative or a senator who has a higher stature in society, you don't have the issue of you don't have enough money in your account. Like you are at risk of not returning as an ordinary Liberian who might not have enough money in his or her account and go and apply for visa. So if you look at the language, that is just diplomatically telling you they refusing you visa, which is their right to refuse you a visa to enter their country. As to why, that is the question, because these people follow up what we do in our country. They're looking at your affiliation. Who are you affiliating with? Are you affiliating with individuals that they've sanctioned on a high scale? Are you accused of, being involved in corruption and other acts against you, and other things that will inform their decision as to why they don't want you to go to their country? Because in a way, allowing you to go to that country is by extension supporting what you're doing in your country that they're against. So that's my take on that. And automatically, when Liberians hear this, that their top officials are being denied, Dr. Richardson, to tell you the truth, people will rejoice. They feel like people leave them in dire situations and they travel abroad to their families, that they have better lives, they have better opportunities, they go to better, they get better medical attention and all of these things, and they can fly in and out whenever they feel like doing so. So again, it's a message that the Americans are sending to those officials that have been denied and put on administrative leave as to what security concern they pose to the U.S. That is another question that they too need to look in their closet and answer. But they'll always give you a diplomatic answer whenever you're in the higher echelons of government and you do hold a diplomatic passport or a service passport for that matter. And many of our lawmakers hold diplomatic passports.
Look at the situation.
Can I say something to what Damo was saying? So yes, there was a refusal notice, but the refusal notice was very specific. They say the application has been refused under Section 221G of the U.S. Immigration and Naturalization Act. That was the reason. And what that 222G says that the application is incomplete or because they needed additional information. That is why I informed my decision. So I thought I would say that. So very specific. Maybe the other ones there will be more information.
Dr. Richardson?
I was just gonna add that, having studied the Americans for so long, when they reject you, they give you a lot of mixed messages, and that's what they do. Okay. So you got another mixed message at the beginning. They say for section whatever, but at the bottom they said administrative processing. So it's up to you now to figure out what they're saying to you, and that could take you about years and years of running around. That's what they want to do. And Tom, I had a question. I'm sorry, Stanton. Do you think that creates fear of people who legitimately need to have a visa of going to the embassy, because I've had family and friends who say, well, we hearing that they
let answer that question real quick. Dr. Richardson, it's not about the common people. This is not about your sister, your brother, my nephew, my niece. No. This is about people in power. This is about decisions makers in the country. Let's be serious. It got nothing to do with, somebody said I will send for my daughter, my son to come to America. Let's just be straight up. If that's your daughter, legally, you're a citizen, you can send for your daughter, you can send for your son. If they give you a hard time, like some of my friends would do, dress in the military uniform, go to Labrador, go to the embassy, and the ambassador will come and say, sorry, sir, what's the problem? And they will solve your problem right there because they respect the uniform. If they give you a problem, you call your lawyer, your immigration lawyer will handle it, period. This is about senators, representatives. This is about ministers and directors. I am too pushed to call some of them names, but I will not do it today. Glenny, you know why? The people are tired. They are. There's so many reasons why the decision have come to deny and put them on administrative processing. Let's go back in history. Some of those that are on administrative processing, why are they today? They put them on sanction. Those are warning signs. Those are strictly warning signs that you are doing something they don't like. So this is not about get money in the Damos in GT Bank. It's not about whether you go back in the country. You get 9 years.
Talk about GT Bank.
No, you correct it.
No, but it's in the letter. It's in the letter.
It is. But don't say that cover up. Let's put the letter up one more time before we go, because we got a lot of story coming on, folks. I want to say, please share the program. It is your program. Look at the date. August 12th, 2024. It's most recent. Let me tell you something. Somebody was trying to come on this trip with President Parker. The Atlanta, Georgia trip. And you know when it started? They know exactly when it started, right? It came on the 21st, it lasted the 24th. They pop it back home. They were denied. They were totally denied. They told them no. I know. Some of them have to recalculate, some of them have to recalibrate, some of them have to take detour to go to other countries. Turkey, Dubai, and you know that China, Bangladesh.
But Stanton, you know why? Because they already took the pardon money. The reason why they had to go to different countries is they are already taking the pardon money, and because they got denied, they couldn't give that money back. They said, you know what? Let me just go to Ghana and stay there, and let me just go on there. They already got that money in their pocket. That money business they are going.
It's troubling if you have nothing else to. We get more coming to you. Listen, we get more this information. We get a lot of them, and I will intentionally put one of their name up because they continue to lie to the Liberian people. I will personally take that fight. I will put one of their name up. They are worried. They are disturbed. They are disturbed. They are worried. Why the American government put them on administration? Because they used to lie to other people. They used to laugh at them. When it happened to Musa Belete, they laugh at him. When it happened to Edwin Snow, they laugh at him. Seriously, I'm calling this guy's name because you know what? To tell you the truth, I'm not mad. I'm not blaming them. But they put these guys on administrative processing. I can say it's not secret. Musa Belete is to be brief. I won't get into talking, but I can say it's not secret. Most of them are. But check yourself. Why did they put you on administrative processing? Check yourself. Ask your lawmaker, when will you go to America? Don't talk about nothing. Just say, Mr. Lawmaker, when are you traveling to America? If you got nothing else to say, I beg for us to move on to the next conversation. Anybody have anything to say about this thing? Because if you keep on the conversation, I will call some people name I don't want to call.
I mean, I agree with you. Looking back in hindsight and having reviewed the document, yeah, it could be because of that too. I do agree because it's vague. They didn't say much, They could actually be a diplomatic way of denying them too. So this could be true too. You know, in the way they write it, usually American write it that way. That's the diplomatic language. That exactly. I went back to one phrase there. That is exactly how they do when they. It's like a Minnesota knife. They're laughing at you at the same time, you know, poking you in the side. So
That's exactly
you know,
what
Look,
it is.
yes,
I just
taking
I
a
just want to
second
say
look at
something
it, yes.
quickly. I just want to say something quickly. Look, the way this is coming, then it looks like it's across the board because I've been hearing a lot of rumors for the last 2-3 months, eh? And if this is happening like this, and where the letters are getting to the public domain, and so that there must be some policy that the U.S. government has adopted. I don't know. I'm not a diplomat, but I'm just hoping, because I think it would be a good thing for the Liberian government to, have they cannot overturn it, but they need to find out whether this is a policy against certain people in the government, or this is going by individual cases. Because if it looks like a policy, then the Liberian government needs to know what is driving that policy. Okay, because look, generally we know that 71 to 75% of Liberian visa applicants are denied, right? But it does not extend to the officials of the government who really are not at risk of staying in the country. So there must be something that is driving this. And the Liberian government, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, should delve into it. They should have a conversation with the American government and the embassy to find out whether this is a policy and what they need to do to correct any anomalies or whatever issues the America has with it. They need to address that, because I'm sure I'm going to show you, Ghana will do that, Haiti will do that, Nigeria and other countries will do that. If their officials are getting denied, they will want to know, because you send a diplomatic note with a diplomatic passport or a service passport, right? So if you're getting denied, then they based upon that information, they must be able to tell the Liberian government what is necessitating what looks like a mass denials of visa to Liberian officials. They need to know that.
But Uncle Sam, I thought it seemed like this.
Before we leave,
Uncle Sam, the way it looks, I think it is an ordinary passport that person might have submitted though, because they will not deny a diplomatic passport or an official government passport under that.
No. I have seen it on diplomatic passport on administrative processes, and I've seen official many times, many. And I've tried to intervene in 1 or 2 cases, but I wasn't getting any place. I know that for a fact, where official or diplomatic have been placed on administrative. I know that for a fact.
Wow.
We have some breaking news. I will not break it today. Then it means I will be quoting certain individual names, but this is concerning someone says Stanton. There's a high-profile individual in this government that is also on administrative processing. Till I can confirm that, I will just hold my peace. If you have nothing else to say on this issue, I beg for us to move to the CDC headquarters issue. The back and forth between the Dempster and the Bernard. If you ever read the story, the report about who owns the CDC headquarters, that entire place. I just put some document in the chat room that will inform you. Please go through it quickly. Some of those documents, I can put them up like this one. It was written August 8, 2024, most recently. It was written to Mr. Janga Ko. Now, Janga Ko is the acting CDC chairman, acting national chairman of CDC. All right. I really want to hear you as you read this document and let us know your take. The next letter here was August 15. I want to bring the August 9 before the August 15. Okay, let me bring the August 15. Again, Jangako replied, Councilor Momo, Councilor Johnny Momo. As you can see, you can take the picture and read it later. It's a lot. The back and forth is about what we read yesterday, that they are asking CDC to leave that area, to kick them out. This is the other letter here from Mr. Janga again. This letter was sent by Johnny Momo to Janga CC the interstate estate of Matos Tobofi Bernard. Now, we have some receipt that we can show up today. This receipt, money that was paid in the amount of $54,170. The leadership of Congress for Democratic Change make this payment. They receive it from the payment. Now, something about this receipt, if you want to question it, the office of the sheriff, they pay this money to the court. Let's talk. Let me hear you. When we discussed this issue yesterday, guys, George Bona was her name. Begged Gregory Coleman in a letter asking him, please give us a Liberia National Police officer. We want to go and serve
a rate
of injection, but we are afraid to go alone. Help us with some of your officers. I want to start with you, Eduardo. These people are serious. They're asking CDC, say you got to get out. The man won a case a few years back. The man won his property. And I can announce to the nation tonight, CDC is resolved. They say they will leave, if so be. What say you, Eduardo?
Stanton, let's go back to some of the historical record on this issue. Before CDC actually took over that compound, the owners, now we did not establish who was the actual owner, but there was some dispute regarding the property to begin with. When CDC was in power, obviously, our judicial system doesn't work independently. When you are in power, you have a lot of controls. So CDC were able to maintain the property even though it was in dispute because the rightful owners claimed the property. I believe the court case originally already adjudicated before CDC took over the property. It is only fitting if Stanton Weatherspoon owns a property and you go build on that man's property, the man can anytime and take your property. This is not, I know sometimes we like to do this pity thing in Liberia. Dr. Francis owns her land. You pay a 20-story bidding on it, and she don't want her money. You cannot buy her out. She wants her property. You have to give it to her. And CDC have to understand this. For me, I think CDC is doing the right thing here. If they decide they're going to move, if they cannot own the property, it's the right thing to do. But CDC still does have a lot of money, Stanton. They can go find land somewhere else and legitimately buy that land and rebuild. But the person's property must go to the person. It's just that simple, really.
So I understand. Let me ask you before I leave you. Do you think CDC missed an opportunity here? 6 years running the government and they couldn't solve this issue?
No, yes, it is. CDC did not miss an opportunity. CDC, let me tell you something. CDC expected to be in power for 12 years no matter what. They believe this wholeheartedly. There was a lot of hesitations. In fact, when the guy tried to go to court, if anybody remember, the proper owner of the property, at one point he felt his life was being threatened for this property. He had to leave the country. I think he went to Ghana. This is what we do to us. Somebody owns a property. And then in the same country, because somebody is ruling, the court will not rule. And even if the court rule, nobody enforces it. This is a recipe for chaos. Well, I guess we'll
Dr. Richardson, let me hear you. I know you're going over. I can come back to you if you're not ready. But the issue about CDC property is concerning. And now I spoke to some folks from CDC. They said, well, if the decision comes for us to leave, we'll leave. What say you? Or everything pointed, they are ruling in favor of Mr. Dempster, right? They said that Mr. Dempster property, you would know the history behind this thing, and give the man his property.
The only thing I can say, I want to echo Dwallo and just say that I'm happy that CDC is respecting the law, give the man his property back, and move forward. Nobody is above the law in Liberia, whether you're a political party, whether you're in power or not. So I'm happy that the law is unfolding as it is.
Fadiga, you want to talk to us on this?
The letter, specifically, let me go back to the letter that was written by the CDC. I'm surprised
Which date?
Yeah,
Which date? Find the date and I'll put it up.
The one from Jagaco, August 1st, eh?
We got August 15. We got
August
August
15,
8.
2024, yeah.
August
The
15.
one,
Okay.
the one of Councilor Momo, that one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that I was looking at. I'm surprised that the 360,000 that they pay to covering 6 years. So I'm wondering, so they have not been paying?
And you know, you're asking a good question. So when I reached out to Sedisha, let me answer you on this because that's a beautiful question. I reached out to Sedisha, right? And they said, listen, we couldn't pay because the matter was in court. You had two brothers fighting for the property. And I think you raised a valid point here. Maybe Uncle Sam that have some affiliation with CDC will help us understand. But I know this story because I know why it is. And trust me, allow me to question. I know somebody that own a property where George Manuel live in rehab. They did something similar to that person. They put EPS officer. They say they want to buy the property. The person said no. They put EPS officer in there in the person's property, right? They put EPS officer in the property. Let me explain. You want us to explain it like yeah. So they said they want to own the property. The person said no, you cannot own the property. If you open door, we have fence. You walk straight into the person's fence. They put EPS officer there.
Yeah.
The guys want to lock the door. They say you can't lock the doors. They bust the door. They did everything. They said they would do what they call what that thing name. That term name.
Eminent domain.
Eminent domain. They will go ahead and seize it for 6 years. They never pay a dime. 6 years. 6 years under former President John Manuel. He said, end up picking thing he frisked it with take the property. The same thing I bundled to the Pigin. The Pigin said no. They say Emmanuel Potter. The Pigin said no. They said, send the man said no, we'll take it and we get another 6 years coming. We send people there.
You said we again?
Huh?
You said we again?
I said, the Pigin said no, we will take it. I then saying they will take it.
Oh, okay. Then the Pigin said Fadiga there. They said Fadiga will go live there. Don't we see that kind of witchcraft attitude?
No, that's not about job. We are thinking that you asked a good question.
They didn't pay.
Okay. See you later. 6 years. Now drive couple they pay 6 years.
Free.
Huh? Yeah. They reminded me today that Tuesday I gotta go Bible study. But not time yet, 7 o'clock. 6 years. They pay a dime. When you go talk, they said nobody will cross this gate. You know, Joe, right there, the hatch, right?
Yeah.
Right there. Anybody that want to go inside, they say, no, you can't come. Up to today. After the election, I need to say this story, folks. Let me digress a little bit.
I person need a request for them to get him.
After the election, Paul Kennedy, when Johnson Yuma Bwaga put his hand up, January 22nd, on the 23rd, the president reached the same gate. They send people there and say they won't go. You know what they gotta say? The president is not in the country. Nobody allowed to come here. Same gate say what? They say President Joe Weah. They say who president? You know that yesterday you got a new president. These are how sedition behave.
Yep.
They know exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
Violent taken by force.
Yeah.
They know that. They said we couldn't pay because this case was between Bernard and Dempster, Archibald and Dempster. So we don't want to get involved. No, they did it intentionally. And guess what, though? I like what you said. They were going to go another 6 years without paying. Then after they used and abused the property, they were going to walk. And what they did to that picking property. One phone call, they were happy to open the gate and say, my man, go. You'll go get your property. One phone call.
I think they need to be sued for that property too.
Oh no, but that one is between the owner and the government. Government are continuing with it. The poor EPS is also that Joseph Barker responsibility now. You know, so it's between the owner, whoever the owner is that we're talking. But I said this to
there was 1.2 that in that letter. Dempster is not playing though. He requested 4,200,000 for that property.
As he should.
4,200,000. So we'll see what are the guy enough.
No, they're leaving. They're not going to pay. They're leaving. I spoke to some of the top people. They are leaving.
But Stanton, it happened to the Unity Party. The guys were blushing, laughing here. Unity Party was very responsible about it. They quietly left that place.
I get a letter from Tiger. You know who they call Tiger Unity Party? I mean, ECDC. You know the person Tiger? Emmanuel Shaw. They sent Bernard. I get a letter in my email. They reach out. Stand on. Unity Party headquarters is going underwater. We want you to buy it. I get a letter. I can put a letter up today.
Yeah, I think it's.
They want you to buy it. They did everything. But they didn't know. I couldn't have done that to Unity Party. And instead, we went the other way. Let us hear you, Uncle Sam. Oh, you know the Bernard family, you know the Dempster. I think maybe you do. And this is concerning that CDC is about to leave.
I grew up with Archie then, and that's where they grew up. The two Archie Bernards, Thelman, and I knew the old man Tommy Bernard himself. He was I think chief of police at one time, and was he had the biggest transportation company. There is so much story about that land there. It's just, and of course I know Brahima Dempster. I know that his grandmother Heather Luke has some properties on Broad Street, which is the former FIB big building. So I know there's a lot been going on with our property. Look, but the general issue is political parties have been generally irresponsible when it comes to like a headquarters and building an institution for the future. Let's just be very clear. Unity Party stayed 12 years on the McLean property. They had a big kick out. And CDC been to that place since 2005. So the political parties, they do everything just like how they run the country. They don't do anything for the long term. They don't set up a structure. They don't set up an institution. They don't. This is how we run this country. No head, no tail. And but just in real estate alone, the largest real estate developer in Liberia is a guy called Ezat, a close friend of mine who owns Royal Hotel. The largest. He owns about a third of Syncor. And then, of course, the New Liberians, the Fullers, if you see all the buildings down Waterside, Rana Street, Broad Street, so, the thing is, there's something wrong with us innately. And Dr. Francine, you're the psychologist, you will need to do that research. What is it about us that we don't do something for the long term and we don't do things that benefit all of us? This is what it's a clear manifestation of who we are. You stayed for Unity Party for 12 years, CDC for 17 years, and you could not nail it down in terms of ownership or get some kind of an agreement. And then the party, it's Liberia is just a mess, man. I'm just sorry to say that. We need to do more.
Oh, thank you. Glennie, you want to add to this before we move on?
I don't have anything to add. They should give the guy his property. It's just that simple. I have nothing else to add.
You're not worried that CDC You're not worried that CDC looking for a place to be now?
Who are worried about the guy Jamaica Resort? Why they can move there? Why would be worried about? Why about the 49 apartment? They can move in one of those.
All right. So anybody want to add? Diamond, Paul, you guys want to add?
Yeah, see, I want to speak not to the CDC particularly, but I want to speak to this issue of relocating prominent institutions on a very regular basis. If you look at most of our government institutions, without the ministerial complex, we're still faced with the same thing. today I was jokingly telling somebody that the Liberian Immigration Service has changed its head offices more than I can even count my fingers, and it's difficult to locate these permanent structures. As a country, you have the immigration moving from Broad Street to where United Party have their campaign office now, moving from there going Mama Point, and after some time they'll move to another place. We need to start building permanent structures for our institutions, not just political parties, but government institutions. Because whenever you move from one location to another, in a country that we don't do much publicity, it puts people at a loss. We start looking for where is this place, where is that place, where is this place, and a lot of history goes with you as well. When you maintain a permanent structure, a lot of history is created at that place that you can build on, and it can be referenced. But in Liberia, many of our institutions do not have a permanent structure. We either leasing from one family to the other, giving people money, and majority of that is done based on the kickbacks. When we lease these places, we give people money, 10% on all of these things, and it's confusing. I just wanted to speak to that, not just from a political standpoint, but as institutions in our country, we need permanent locations that people can point to whenever they need to find you. That's why I wanted to say see you.
Thank you very much, Paul.
There's another matter there too.
Damo, sorry, Badiga, and Damo, let me just before I lose my train of thought, I think it all boils back to bad governance. That everything you just stated about how government does not own a permanent structure, but rather to rent or lease properties. And just like Uncle Sam said, the government in any country is actually a replica of the political party or a function of the political party. So most of the things that you see the political parties do transmit into government functionality. I mean, there are a few political parties in Liberia that I know have their own headquarters. The True Party building, the building we used to call EJ Raw, maybe MPP, they got that building there in Tartan in Oro, and Lano now got their property from Dr. Maniba. So there are few, right?
ALP also.
ALP got their own property too.
And most political parties don't even have interest in having a legitimate structure. They are transient. So they come in the political season. So now election finish, they all gone. They don't come back. They don't say anything until the election. These people are making fun out of the country. So maybe next should not even give any political party a registration status until they can find out that you as a political party actually have a locational structure. I mean, maybe we should, because everybody is having a political party, Damo. And these are not some of the things that are actually helping our country. So I agree with you. I mean, you just made most of the point. They are moving from one room to another, and all of this kind of procurement, and they are getting kickback. They are renting family homes and all of. Look at some of the buildings that are hosting some of our ministries and our agencies. I mean, it's just really unnecessary. So maybe you should make recommendations.
So Stanton, one other thing, I don't know whether you guys noticed it, that probably I missed it in the news. I didn't know that there is an eviction order against the CDC to leave that property.
Yeah, well, we said it, Fadiga.
Yeah. It's in there. So they finally agreed to leave. I think I was mentioning, and actually I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so that means the CDC going to has been ordered evicted.
Yes, but here's the issue though. That again, and I asked this question. 6 years. They couldn't solve this problem. 6 years. 6 years they were just operating on the level. They operated on the level 6 years. I mean, is that a serious political party? I'm just asking. A real serious political party. But anyway, they will say, well, what about UP? You know, they will say, what about the other party?
At least
if
the
you
North
if Unity Party this time around leave power without having a permanent headquarters, then that's a problem for them.
Yes.
They were there 12 years, they never had it. If they leave power this time around without having a permanent, I wonder where CDC going to go?
But Senator, Let me tell you, a beautiful political party for CDC is a 49 condominium. This is a beautiful place. I'm not joking. In the middle, it has a massive field. It has this thing surrounded like a sea.
But actually, Joe, we are condominiums. Is it 49 or 18? What's the exact number?
I don't know what it have been. I know that 18 billion, each billion get two. But seriously, Center, look, Uncle Sen said this. The political parties in Liberia, even the ruling parties, do not do anything in permanence. So we don't think to the future. We always think in terms of immediacy. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Stanton will take care of himself and not the organization that have birthed him. We've done this over for eons, Look at the True Wing Party headquarters. Do they have one? But man, that's enough for them. That's not government building. They still finding way.
Well,
And I got the 9th Street.
they
But the
say
9th
for
Street,
them.
they can't host them. And 9 or 18th Street.
For them. What I would say.
Yeah, 9th Street.
Yeah, Uncle Sam. That's a good thing about Uncle Sam.
Look, here is a problem in Liberia. That when people get into power, they do not economically empower their real partisans. Okay? To say like they do in Ghana or they do in South Africa, where the ANC looks for business people who support them, empower these people, and these people will make major contributions to the party to build a headquarters, to have businesses, employ people, and let the economic benefits of political power trickle down. Liberals don't do that. As soon as the political party gets out of power, 6 months, it's too much. They start begging. They're completely out of it. They can't even buy ticket. They can't do nothing. Their girlfriend, they're finally living there because they don't do any long-term planning. If I'm president, I would give power to business people who support a political party. I will empower them economically so that they can be like in Ghana, where you see millionaires connected to political parties making major contributions. They do that in the United States, where the political parties they have their big huge donors, and these donors, when the party gets to power, they pass legislation to favor these big businesses. And they give them procurement contracts. They give them defense contracts. Halliburton, these BP companies. Liberia does not understand that the business of a country is business. That's all it is. It's about economic empowerment, economic development. It's not about that political power to be riding big car. It's about planning the future of a people. And the only way you can do that is to have intergenerational wealth from one generation to another. But if you just get political party power, you give jobs to your friends then, and then they take the money, and when they leave power, they go abroad or they go someplace else, and then the people who really supported the party who need jobs, they don't even have one factory that any political party ever built in this country to support the people. One political party, one dress factory, one sewing machine company, nothing. That's not how you run a government. For 177 years to live in this abject poverty because you can't do the thinking, the strategic thinking. It's too sad, man. Very sad.
Thank you very much. Dr. Rachel says, is that a failure to CDC?
Yes, it is a failure because I was going to add one of the most ill-advised, someone can say dumb thing to do is to even start to develop somebody else's property while you're there. It is my understanding they started to build school. They even built a beautiful arch with their name on it. They have a couple of buildings.
That's why Jefferson Koji lived.
Why? Well, why would I want to live in somebody else's property and develop that person's property?
Because Jeremiah Kuhn kicked Jefferson Koji out of his property. Jeremiah Kuhn got a place on Penn Avenue. I'm not joking, Damo, seriously. And Jeremiah Kuhn Jefferson Koji took it free. They asked him to pay $500 a month when he was mayor, where he was living. Somewhere on 17 or something street around there. 19th Street. I know it. And it came that, Jefferson Koji think that it was necessary that he could build 2-bedroom and an office space at the party headquarters.
Wow.
So Jefferson Koji have to leave too.
Seriously?
I'm serious. It's not a joke. It's not secret. They all know it.
Maybe they got mad. They will buy somewhere. Send them.
But what I think in Liberia they say horse, land carry horse.
Oh yeah, no, they made agree.
The
He
person
agreed. So
inquired
the
whole mouth.
TV school and everything. The Liberian people need to know. You know, Mr.
Yeah,
Dempster take them all.
And it's a waste of money,
Imagine.
complete, replica of how
And
they
that's
work.
not only the fence battle. They run it straight into the ocean. So all the ghettos behind there where the LDA just raided everything for the man. Okay? That's why you're talking about 4.2 or 4.3 million dollars. Because it's a private property.
Yes, it is.
They run it straight into the ocean.
beautiful place.
So therefore, he's Joseph Koji will be displayed again. He got nowhere to go.
Well,
I mean, if you got 2-bedroom apartment, rent it to him.
lesson
But when
learned.
I ask the people to toss Jefferson, all the horses we are got, he can go just move there. He can even move in the boss quarter. The one that on Jamaica Resort. The homes there for them. But so just call the brother, ain't go there. They ain't go stay with the
So I want us to move to this one coming up. Tomorrow is Wednesday, and it will be a big day in the country. The guys are ready. Damo, they are ready to go to the Supreme Court. As per the document received concerning Gloria Muslim Scott, Rebecca Yondi Whistler, Getchu Nirwan, and Alice Johnson. This document is very important. A ruling, not an argument, a decision will be made tomorrow on August 28, 2024. 12 noon. The Supreme Court will be jam-packed. We are receiving a lot of information coming by way from our sources that Gloria Muslim Scott and the other 3 defendants will be at the Supreme Court for that ruling. I want you to please speak to this, and seriously, Liberians, we want to open the phone line after this one to hear your own thought. How you think the Supreme Court going to rule? Give me your own understanding right now. We went through the case and everything here and there. Help us understand. You are hereby commanded to notify, what are you saying there? The parties in the above entitled course of action or their legal representative that the Honorable Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia will give ruling in said cause on the 28th day of August AD 2024 at the hour of 12 noon, and that they are certain to be present for saying. Very simple. Councillor Sam, the clerk, Supreme Court, Republic of Liberia. Very simple. Did I miss anything? It's right there. Appeal. So Gloria Muslim Scott found guilty. They appeal to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court going to give the decision. I want to go around the table very quick. Give me your honest opinion, and I want us to hear from the Liberian people what they think about what is about to happen tomorrow at 12 noon. Dr. Richardson will come back to you. What do you think?
Can I let me just pass because
That's okay.
Yeah, let me pass.
Well, let me come back to you.
Let me read them my verdict. This is Liberia. People are going to go to jail. The verdict tomorrow, the Oma goes home. This is not a suggestion whether she's guilty or not guilty. It's not what I'm suggesting. I'm telling you the way Liberian jurisprudence functions. She will not go to jail. She's too big to go to jail. So they will have to.
She's already in jail, Guadu. She's been in jail at this time.
She's been in jail, but I'm talking about impermanence. But she will walk and go home. I don't know whether she's guilty given the evidence presented. I don't think she should have gotten convicted to begin with. But based on the way Liberia works, she's going to go home tomorrow.
Yeah, if she go home tomorrow,
yeah.
What I tell you about the Supreme Court?
Well, if people can go to jail, Liberia, I'm not going to dwell on the Supreme Court. You already know how I feel about them. They don't put Liberia first. They put their own personal interest first every single time. And they don't understand they get paid to put Liberia first. They do not put Liberia first anytime. They all put themselves first. Friendship, membership, connection, they put that first before the republic. But they will send her home. They will send her home. This is Liberia. People can go to jail.
Do you think that decision will be fair?
Whether it's fair or not is not for me to say. Now, I don't feel she was guilty to begin with. So by sending her
Okay.
home this time around, I think it will be a fair decision. But they're
Okay.
not. I don't think they're sending her home because it's a fair decision, but because people can go to jail, Liberia. That's why I think she will go home.
Fadiga, your take.
I agree with Dwalu to a lot of extent. Something bad happened in the house. We may never know what exactly happened because the case was heavily politicized. What I do know, and I can sleep thinking that I don't think she murdered anybody in that room. So the fact that she was sent to jail, and treated her if to say she committed the act, always suspicious. But again, there's so many things about that case that doesn't make sense. I don't think the government handled it properly. So because of that, I think she will walk away. She will walk away free. The only victim here is poor Charlotte that may never receive justice. If this is what justice look like, I don't think it's enough. It's not justice for her. But I don't think she was guilty of the crime. And I'm glad that if the justice system do the right thing, tomorrow she will most likely walk away. But then I still leave a dead child that in a murder suspect that is out there. And had the police done their job and not politicize this thing, probably the rightful person will be beyond bar. But this is another sad day for Liberia. Why it is true that she may walk home free tomorrow, but it's still a sad situation. But somebody
Do you
lost it.
do you think if and only if CDC will have won this election, we're going to be having this conversation today?
She would have stayed for giving the big man syndrome and the sacred cow doctrine we have in Liberia. They could have still maneuvered a way to get her out.
On a
As for the
CDC.
even on a CDC, it's not impossible that she would have also gotten out. Look, there is a culture in this country, and there's several sacred cows that people protect regardless. And let us not forget that former Justice Scott, she played an integral role in our democratic process. She's held several high-profile positions, one of which is the justice. So
Thank you.
she's up there.
Thank you very much. Let me bring in Glendy. Says Glendy, what do you think? Your takeaway.
So I would like to pass, but I'm not gonna let it pass. Goro Musu Squad is I refer to her as my aunt. I would hope that she goes home tomorrow. Because I think the way the case was adjudicated was not done correctly. We also heard about witness tampering. Nothing happened during that time. And I want to disagree with Fadiga. I don't think she would have even had this opportunity had it been on a we as government for Supreme Court to hear it. Tomorrow ruling, I would hope that when the ruling is given, that it will be backed by the law, that they will say exactly what happened, why they think she should be set free. But I hope that she does go home free tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Uncle Sam, what's your thought?
I I would agree with Fadiga that the one person that we should put to the center of all our discussion, our thoughts, is a young girl, Charlotte, who got her life cut short. I think that's the most important thing. And I mean, the fact that in a highly politically charged country, you will make a murder, you will politicize a murder. That says a lot about us as a people. Politicize a murder? I mean, I don't care what part of the political divide you are. A child's life cut short and you politicize that, you're not looking for justice. You're looking for exoneration to score a political point, and you're looking for conviction to score a little. But there is something. That's why our war lasted so long. I think we are inherently bad people. I really, really believe that. I rarely believe that. And the little piece of the wall that I saw for a few months in 1992, where I saw this crash, barbarity, underpinning the people, doing all these evil things, and I didn't recognize that country because I don't know that I was born in that country, and I see it happening right now with this particular case, where if Gloria Mususka gets exonerated tomorrow, Unity Partisans will be dancing in the streets, and if she stays in jail, Silesians will be dancing in the street. That's that is that is so patently something is so wrong with that concept of justice, where exoneration or conviction becomes a political victory or loss, and you're not worried about a life that was cut short. I say these things, and people, get angry with me, but there is something deeply flawed about our country and how we view things. And tomorrow, I mean, for the sake of the family of the little girl, I hope whatever decision they make tomorrow, like Benny said, is based upon justice. But I know my country; they will make a decision based on politics tomorrow, and if she gets exonerated, watch the streets. They will tote her from the central prison to the streets of Broad Street. And if she gets convicted, there will be other people in other parts of town celebrating. And that is the tragedy of my country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the show, Ava. Talk to us on this Gloria Mususka issue, if you can, please.
Yeah, that that case was very frustrating for me. When you see something that seems to be cut and dry, and there's a lot of machinations around it, a lot of political movement, and these kind of things, when you're far removed from it, it's hard to determine what is the truth, you know? So for me, I don't think justice is being served in terms of who actually committed the murder. Um, the level of professionalism involved in the investigation has much to be desired. The whole autopsy process, or looking at the body, still did not satisfy me. So it's just hard for me to pass judgment. And we already know, to a large extent, our justice system is compromised both on a political basis and sometimes on a financial basis. And we see these things happening, sometimes no explanation. But we all know we have very smart lawyers, we have very smart judges, and they can write a case or an opinion, with a flawed decision and make it look rational for the people of Liberia. So we are in a jam place until we have complete judicial reform, and where there's significant integrity in the judiciary. We always have these things where we don't believe them. The same with the police, the way they investigate, the way they, I don't know how we call our own top level person who takes care of autopsy, but it's incredible, man. Still, you see a lot of us, the young girl nearly killed me. You see where you're allowed to win? And some people really believe that story, but maybe I will withdraw that story, or I put lie on you. Seriously.
Okay, you'll not be the first person if you do that. I want to say to all of you again, let me say this concerning this case, and this is what coming to me, Dama. When we get to you, please open the phone line. Let's listen to our folks, because true to what Uncle Sam said, you got two different groups. One group will be celebrating, and one group will be saying, well, it's a witch hunt, or well, the Supreme Court is this and that whatsoever. This is what's going on. No sufficient evidence provided by the prosecution to link the defendant to the crime of the first-degree murder. The state didn't prove a case beyond the reasonable doubt. Now, whereof the defendant are not found guilty, and so ordered. There's a lawyer that sent this to me. This is what they are expecting the ball. And so ordered. The state didn't prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. And they Gloria Muslim Scott and the war, most of them will be going home. A
Yeah,
lot of
it
people.
was shocking to see that she was actually convicted for murder one, which is very hard to prove.
So again, I want to ask you real quick. Please, somebody help me. We got to go at, today's Tuesday. If you want to stay, you can stay. But you know I got to go praise God and ask God to forgive my weekly sin. From Tuesday to Tuesday. Thank you. Please go. From Tuesday to Tuesday, anything I do, I clip it on 7 o'clock here to God. But let me say this, though. It is important for us to understand. I disagree with whosoever say if George Weah today was in power, Laura Muslim Scott should just forget it. She's going to stay there. I don't think they were going to even bring this thing to trial. I don't think so. Their appeal are going to fall flat. I do believe elections have consequences, right? I do believe because of Joseph Yaman Bwaka and the push from Gloria Muslim Scott lawyers, the Supreme Court had no order but just to listen to this thing. Mm-hmm. The president didn't intervene. The president sat back and he watched it. Let the law be the law. Let's go to the phone line and listen. Let's take a few calls and listen to our fellow Liberians. Just on this issue, what do you think about the moral ruling decision on the Gloria Muslim Scott case?
You starting from your end?
No, go ahead. I'm going to open the phone line. On the call, we'll bring them in.
Okay, so folks, the numbers to call 0777-771075, 0555-101075. Before we take the calls, the Spoon Network will be live tomorrow at the Temple of Justice, where the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia is, to bring you full coverage of the opinion once it's handed down by the Supreme Court of Liberia tomorrow in this landmark case involving the former Chief Justice and 3 other co-defendants who were convicted of murder, criminal conspiracy to commit murder, and making false statements to law enforcement officers. Let's take this first person here. Hello.
Yeah, hi there.
Fine. Let's hear you out, please. 1 minute, sir.
Yes, I'm editor. I'm calling from Carter.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. We all knew that that woman was not judged by the judges. It was judged by the political reason because they knew that much is a strong woman in the party. Based on that, they do the political judgment. But we want for the wedding to be done tomorrow, and then the free up to fund the party who how to get we should just be prevailed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's take this next person, 0777-771075, 0555-101075. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, let's hear you out.
DK Wonsaleka calling from Jakarta.
Go ahead, sir.
If we can retrospect in Jotopa case, you see, it is almost like the same case. This case, I'm a criminal justice student. This case, the case, the going through of the case, it still had no sufficient evidence. 2014 in Jotopa case, I saw the whole case as a case of no evidence. It was just speculation. They were there as say it was that has no sufficient evidence in the case. So if you look, just like same in Jotopa case 2014, the ruling went on to 2014, 12 o'clock that day, Tuesday. It will be tomorrow. So thank you very much.
Thank you for calling. Let's take this next person here. Hello. You're live. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, my take is, I think for our country, Liberia, the Lady Justice does not have a veil over her face. Lady Justice actually peeping. And for one thing, I would like to believe what Mr. Jackson said, although we are from different political thought, celebrating murder, but I think justice is peeping instead of justice being blind. And I think that the Chief Justice will walk out free tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you for your opinion. Let's take this next person here. Hello.
Come on.
Yes, sir. You're live.
All right. My name is Josiah, calling from the Peace Island, commonly called 540.
Go ahead, sir.
Tomorrow, the ruling from the Supreme Court, some of us are certain and convinced that tomorrow, Gloria Muslim Scott and her family will be acquitted. Because when we followed that case, under the former president, it was a double justice prosecution that went on. I shall study things, study means. So one tell you say no figure or all the things when they deny a particular part of the investigation. No, people are studying for Bro Musca family tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Let's take this person. Hello.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you out, please.
Well, this is the voice of Prince Kolake, and I phone from District 5 respectively.
You're welcome, the voice of Prince
Supreme
Kolake.
Court judgment for me is unpredictable because I was fortunate to have witnessed the case between the late Chancellor Bronstein and that of the Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court acknowledged that there was a fraud that occurred, but the magnitude of the fraud was not enough to warrant rerun. And then if you look at the definition of fraud, fraud is cheating. There's no small cheating, there's no big cheating. So, but for you to acknowledge rather, according to the electoral law, they say when there is a fraud.
Are you trying to correlate an electoral matter to a murder trial?
Come on, without thinking as to what adjustment will be tomorrow. So we look at the only thing we can do. We will tell them to do due diligence and should be in the confines of the law. The justice should be blind tomorrow. The justice shouldn't have eyes to see.
Okay,
sir.
me,
Thank you. We start the will. I only pray that they do the rightful thing in the interest of all of us. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dam. I want to say thanks again to those of you that called. Again, we have to move. It's 6:15, 10:15 in Liberia. We got about 45 minutes to be on the show. That will be a good thing to be there tomorrow to witness the issue. Again, we can announce that a ruling is set for tomorrow, 12 noon. In the case, Gloria Muslim Scout and other versus Republic of Liberia by and through the Ministry of Justice. You got to understand, it's a big, big ruling, a very big one. It will be internationally broadcast. Again, I want to say to everyone, if you're looking at our brother, October, he got 3 battles on his right-hand side. We don't know which battle. Ava, can you make some adjustment? Because it seems that we are advertising your battles. We understand that you like your late thing. That's okay. Maybe they are mortar, plus other stuff. Okay.
How about does he drink?
Hey sister, he would speak for himself.
I'm a cousin. He doesn't drink.
We care less whether he's your.
I am married to be a cousin.
He doesn't drink.
We'll go back to the story here. At the end of the day, that's how it is. Sometimes you just can't help it when you're.
Tell the people that who want to write about my pa, they might write English. They might not put on with my pa name.
Nobody don't take us away from the conversation, please. Yeah, sister, let me so let's move ahead. We also want to announce this woman is so pussy. We also want to announce that ECOWAS was in the country today. It is important for us to talk about the ECOWAS mission. Damon, I think if you can bring up the question you asked the press secretary, is very important. Once you get it ready, let me know. But it's out there that they met the president, Jose Yima Boakai. They met the former president. Let's just put this up. ECOWAS delegation clarifies purpose of Liberia visit. Comment Boakai for peaceful transition. Now, they met the president. They met President Boakai. They met former President George Manawea. They went back and they meet President Boakai for the second time at his residence. One may ask themselves why? Because when they met the former President George Manawea, he gave them a message. And he asked them, can you please convey my message to the President Jose Yima Boakai? You see how divided our country? Our country is divided. And at the end of the day, they took the message to the president. If you follow the story today, let's hear you. They didn't go there because former President George Weah called them. No. They were scheduled to be in the country. Make that very clear. And they used the opportunity to meet the former president upon his request. And they wrote him and said, we want to meet you, we want to sit down, we want to hear you out. And the former president laid so many things out to them. I was able to speak to some of the sedition who said that the former president complained that they are witch hunting by former ministers and current senators in the government. We are the second largest group in the country. The people followed us. They came to our party headquarters. They soon to be former party headquarters. He put all his complaint, all his card on the table. So they took those complaints back to President Boakai. They were very busy today. Dr. Richardson, let me hear you. The back and forth. Now we have to call ECOWAS to come and solve this kind of problem. Let's hear you.
So I want to just reinstate that they did not go to Liberia because of George Weah, contrary to what many might be thinking, because of his complaint of people witch hunting his past officials. They said that they went to Liberia because this was an ongoing membership engagement. If all of the countries that are members of ECOWAS, they do a regular routine visit just to check on the country to make sure they are very, very interested in democracy, to make sure that we are carrying on our democracy very well. They did consider George Weah's complaint, but a lesson learned is that they want to congratulate Liberians for the peaceful transition in the electoral process. So that's kind of what I took away from their visit to Liberia, ECOWAS visit to Liberia.
Thank you. Fadiga?
People try to give this whole ECOWAS visit more leg, especially sedition, suggesting that ECOWAS is here because of some letter they wrote and something. Yeah, not to say that ECOWAS takes every information seriously, but the gravity I wish they made it sound is not what it is. ECOWAS was about to meet the president, and there was a pre-planned meeting, and it just coincided to that letter. But what that letter is in what most people don't realize is that former President Weah was not. I don't think he was really loved by the region, the entire sub-region. He was not a big fan of a lot of folks in the sub-region. I traveled to a lot of those countries, and with the exception of a few, I think one country, I think Senegal at that time when Mickey were in, a lot of the guys really didn't think hard of him. So to see that he's out of power in trying to sow seed of chaos in the country, I don't think it's something that ECOWAS want to condone. I remember during the June 7th protest, ECOWAS came through the instrumentality of Senator Snow. I know he was very instrumental in bringing those people here, and that was a different thing. But I don't think, given the trending pattern of the CDC being disruptive, carrying on a series of civil disobedience around the country, I don't think it's something that ECOWAS want to condone. And the past administration was very dismissive of ECOWAS. They were very disrespectful. There are several cases that were filed at the ECOWAS court that they refused to honor. So I don't know, but I see an ECOWAS that will probably be playing lip service to some of the complaint as well. So it is what it is. ECOWAS can only do so much. I think they're looking at President Boakai more than they will be looking at former President Weah, because he didn't show any respect or regard to ECOWAS in the last 6 years.
Let's see with this ECOWAS meeting between the former president and the current president. Glennie, you was?
You didn't say who, that's fine. I think it was good that while they may have had this trip today was pre-planned, if former President Weah was just not an ordinary person, was the president of an African country, West African country that is a part of the ECOWAS community. So I think it was they're here. They also decided to address the concerns that he had. I don't think it was a bad thing. I think it also shows President Weah that people that are in high offices or high power should also put themselves in positions where they're listening to one another There are things that ECOWAS, I mean, we can't ignore that there are things that they recommended that was ignored by the former president of Liberia, George Weah. So the fact that this same group that you ignore with several recommendations that they've given you, they are now in your country now. That's the first group you decided to send a complaint to. But however it may be, they listened to him. I listened a little bit to the question that Diamond asked the press secretary today about what happened and all of that. And they're asking that the incident be investigated. I think it was a good thing for ECOWAS to not just ignore former President Weah, but to say, okay, we'll hear you. We want this to be investigated. So because the peace and security of our region is important, and any little thing that is seen to threaten the peace of a country or of the region should be concerning to the leaders of the region. So I think it was a good thing that they were here, and they also decided to look into the concerns from President Weah, former president. Thank you.
Yeah, seriously, that meeting was very good, at least, and I will agree with you. He's former president of the Republic of Liberia. I think he deserves a sit down. Uncle Sam?
Well, okay, so once again, my dear panelists and my fellow Liberians, I want us to take a step back into history. When the Unity Party got out of power and George Weah was inaugurated in 2018, do you remember the street protests, bring the 16 billion and all the things that happened in 2018? And then the massive demonstration on June 7th, where tens of thousands of people took co-pots on the streets near the Capitol. That thing, it could have flared up, it would have gone badly, but instead, the CDC administration was there giving water to protesters. Do you remember that? You don't remember that the CDC administration, the police was giving water to protesters?
I do. I remember that, Uncle Sam.
But my Ambassador brother shaking his head.
Did not give no water.
Uncle Sam, let's go ahead. I remember that very well. We got video to that.
Okay, great. Do you also remember that in January, I believe it was 2022, when Costa was about to demonstrate and people was afraid that it was going to implode, who was the mediator? Wasn't it ECOWAS? This is not the first time ECOWAS is intervening to protect the peace of the country. It is their moral and it's in their moral and security interest. Excuse me, please. Oh my God. It is in their security and moral. It's in their moral and security interest to protect the peace of this country. In 2003, I came as an advanced part of the ECOMIL forces that came to separate the warring sides. And I was in the region for most of the 14 years of the war, and I saw the impact of the mass displacement of Liberian refugees all over West Africa and the instability it caused in countries like Guinea, Sierra Leone, and La Cote d'Ivoire. President Boyka has won this election. The election is over. He has more to lose than the opposition. He should be reaching out to President Weah and other political leaders. Since President Weah made that famous call to President Boyka, I believe it was that Thursday before the announcement was made, President Boyka has not reached out to President Weah. He has not called the political leaders. He has not called civil society groups. And he's governing like he's vanquished the country. This is a country of 5 point something million people where we all have a stake. I don't support seditions going the street and throwing rocks. I think the perpetrators should be brought to justice. But I'm looking at the leader who was the father of the country. The father of the country. That's how we call our president, the father of the country. When you win an election, all of us, even the Muffet Sam Jackson, who can be on spoon making laws every night, he's also your citizen. George Weah is a former president. You I understand you invited him to the July 26th, but you did not call him and say, President Weah, we need to show unity by being present together on the same days, DARS, to show unity. We are one people, my people. It's not about Fadiga and Glendy and this. We're all Liberians. We are covered by one flag and one geographical area where our naval springs were buried. So it is the president of the Republic of Liberia, Joseph Yuma Boakai, who has to put out the feelers to the people so we can solidify the peace of this country and we can have prosperity. And I think President Boakai is not doing enough to unify this country. I really believe that. He's not doing enough. He needs to do much, 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 much more to unify this country.
Thank you very much. Ava, I will respond after Ava. Ava, ECOWAS in the country again. ECOWAS.
Yes. So if President Weah letter, which was probably a day or two before the people arrived, was I don't know the exact dates. But I think it was clearly established that the purpose of the ECOWAS visit was not because of George Weah's, complaint or whatever it was. But the fact is, George Weah is an ex-president. George Weah has, significant political clout. And if they are in a country and he raises an issue, it should not be that big a deal for it to be discussed. But people are just scrambling for, I don't know what kind of victory thing it is to say, oh, ECOWAS came because of George Weah. I mean, if that's the victory they want, give it to them. What does it do? At the end of the day, George Weah has 6 years to be in opposition. Okay, Joseph Boakai is president. Whether the election was 1 vote or 15,000 or 16,000, our constitution say in the second round, what is it? 50% plus 1. That's it. Joseph Boakai has the mandate. If how many votes CDC had in the second round? 900,000? How many? I can't remember the number.
It's online. It's online. It's online. We'll check it.
Let me listen to Sam. Sam, how much?
I think it's like 793. Was separated about
792. I agree. If people can think that number of votes represent 50% of our population, then we are very delusional. It's the voting population and not even the entire voting population, because a significant number of people did not vote as well. So, if we had 2.5 million voters and 1.4 voted, so that a whole 1 million voters didn't participate in that second round, plus the rest of the population, which is another 3 million people, and to assume that this country is divided, it may have political, dissection, but the country is not divided. Many Liberians want best for the country. So this pretense by CDC that they weigh equal clout and they should be involved in equal governance of this country is nonsense. They need to wake up and understand that they are in opposition. They are not governing. Their time to govern, they screwed up. They made multiple mistakes. They turned the country in a reverse situation. And now letting give Joseph Boakai the opportunity. 7 months will not do it. 3 years will not do it. 4 years will not do it. He needs at least 4.5 to 5 years for us to see a semblance of significant progress in this country. So, let them take a little moral victories and run with it. I don't have a problem.
Thank you very much. And guys, let me say this. Dr. Richard said, let me say my own. And you spoke on this?
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to add to something Glennie said about, they didn't listen to ECOWAS. They went ahead and impeached Judge Jenner, and ECOWAS did rule in favor of reinstating Judge Jenner. And now they are now going back to the same ECOWAS that they didn't find their opinion, something that they will listen to. So that's what I wanted to just add to what Glennie said.
Thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. You make a good point. For the sake of peace in our nation, I will say this. I think we should come together. But we need to go back a little bit in history. When these things happen, we should remind each other, folks. Remember on Inauguration Day, when Joseph Yima Boakai went through that heat stroke, President Weah was at the airport leaving the country. Let's be fair. I know you'll say, yeah, he's our father. We agree. He's the older one. We agree. He won the election. We need to come together and restore peace in the nation. I agree. But this thing in 7 months, to say that President Weah and sedition have the right and say, yes, we'll do everything that this government has to see, it's a problem. I know somebody like Uncle Sam, Asado, and the rest of them will say, well, but June 7th. What year was June 7th that they always talk about? What year was June 7th? Can anybody tell us what year was June
2019, I think. 2018 or 2019.
2019, June 7th.
June 7th was 2019. When did George Manuel Weah, former president, took over?
2018.
2018.
It was after 1 year, 6 months.
But still, no, there was a good reason, though.
But let me finish.
Can I correct you, Senator? Can I correct you?
They don't let me to talk.
No, but I just want to correct that. There were other demonstrations, not as large as June 7th, but there was the Bring Our Money Back, and like 2 or 3 other major demonstrations that fell into the streets of Monrovia in 2018. Let's be very clear about. And I will get the
so can I continue that, Uncle Sam?
Yes. You started stealing too early. That
Uncle Sam, can I continue, guys? Guys, let me continue. I'm begging you. Let me beg you for my own speaking right on this show, please. And it's important for us to say this. John Weah showed no empathy, no concern. It was well planned. We will go ahead and leave the country once we turn power over. Whether Joseph Yima Boakai live, whether he die, I care less, I'm leaving. And he left. He left with all his people. This president, Joseph Yima Boakai, would never keep grudge for anyone. This president, Joseph Yima Boakai, is not in his DNA. He knows he's the president. He knows he is with everything in him. He should uphold the peace. And he will do everything to uphold the peace. But one thing he will not do, he will not compromise to audit. He will not compromise to restore justice and fairness and transparency in the country. If you call that he should go ahead and set up an investigation, ECOWAS called that, that's fine. But CDC should understand, my fellow Liberian, there will always be one government at a time, one elected government. And today, that Joseph Yima Boakai the president. So don't go there. Have George Weah reach out to the president? You know what CDC feel like? You know what they are thinking? They are thinking that we are running an interim government or a government of national unity. CDC mindset. Some of the people that when we talk to them, it pulls to me. Glenn, don't laugh. It's true. They feel that it's immaterial government. When you have Ruth Sandra Perry government, when you have Judy Bryan government, they really have not comprehended the fact that Joseph Yima Bwaka is the president of the Republic of Liberia. One person at a time. One government, democratically at a time. They feel within themselves, CDC, they believe that Joe Weah is a co-chairman. Joseph Yima Bwaka is the chairman. For, how do you used to call the party, LGNT or LTNG? How do you used to call them? Somebody help me with that. Liberal National something, the transition government. What's the name? Can
I LNC?
No, not LNC. The transition government, Honor Sawyer, Honor Bryan, Honor Ruth Perry, Honor Sangabro. You know that government, all the fashion come together.
NTGL. They have NTGL. They have LNTG.
You call the name. NNTG, LTG, and all the G. You call the name. You know what the mindset of Joe Weah? He must go back for another peace accord in Ghana. The Yamasoko peace accord. The Abuja peace accord.
Well, let him go in the bush. Let him go in the bush for and start fighting war.
And I hear people say, that's the mindset of those that are around the president. One government at a time. You are not a government. President Joseph Yima Bwaka is the president of the Republic of Liberia. Take your complaint to the court. McGill did, Senator did, but the government will tolerate no indiscipline. None. Have you heard some of the people that call and say, my president, it's okay, that's the freedom of speech. But we should remind them, Fadika, this is not interim government. This is not Amos Sawyer, and you got Halahaji Kraman, then you got Roosevelt Johnson, then you got how you call them for NDPL and all of them coming together. No, this is an elected government. The people came together. The people agree that this time around it should be Joseph Yima Bwaka. Period. Period. That's it. How dare you say we get an interim government yet? So therefore, we can call ECOWAS. We need a peace forum. Okay. We'll write a letter and say ECOWAS, let the government and our political party go to Abuja for Abuja summit. You don't take this for a joke. Fadiga, this is what the people are thinking. The next one, the former president, will write a letter to call Tinubu and tell him, say, or who said what they have right now for ECOWAS, to tell them, say, we need to come to Lagos for a peace accord. No, Abba, it's true. They will call Mr. Cummings. We need to come to Lagos, Mr. Cummings can join us. They will call Tewan Gonglo, come and join us. Because of war and fashion now. The political party has turned to be a war and fashion. This nonsense got to stop. On the plane, when the president was on his way from Ghana, you had Nathaniel Fado Maggie on that plane. You had Alexander Cummings on the plane. Alexander Cummings woke up and he spoke to the president. The president spoke to him. You have President Bwaka on the same plane. It's up to the former president to send a delegation and request the presence of the current president. He's a peace ambassador. He was paid to be peace ambassador.
Keeping.
We can make him a peace ambassador in this government again. If he won, we can make him peace ambassador. He will start with the CDC headquarters to vacate the people property and find somewhere else to carry his troop. We can make him peace ambassador. Enough is enough, my fellow Liberians. We need to stop this. This is not a war in fashion. This is not an RPFL, an independent PFL, Ulimo K, Ulimo J. No, it's over. If you want to control the country, go back to the ballot box. Win an election, and you can run your country, and we will wait. But today, you got one president. His name is Joseph Yima Bwaka. You can call United Nations. You can call ECOWAS. You can call European Union. You can call Fiscal. You can call Bregazi. Anything you want to call, you may call them. This is not an interim government. This is not a Warren fraction form of government. This is not a government of inclusion that every Warren fraction must be represented. The Nelson Joel will be talking about, I want the Freeport of Monrovia. I want LPRC. I want Finance Ministry and Bwaka giving it to me. Y'all will soon start hearing this thing. Y'all will soon start hearing this. The mindset, that war mentality, fatiga, is still in them. You ever heard President Bwaka complaining about George Manawia's government, saying that I'm going to ECOWAS? You ever heard that? Can somebody tell me on the show today, you ever heard President Bwaka writing a letter as an opposition? 6 years as an opposition, he wrote a letter to UN, he wrote a letter to European Union, he wrote a letter to OAU, he wrote a letter to ECOWAS and say, y'all come, I don't like what President John Weah is doing, y'all come and intervene. You ever heard that? No. No, he didn't. 6 years you were in power.
So
Joseph Yuma Bwaka was in his corner. He was in his corner.
No, people won't fear. Let's move on, man. They don't fear.
No. Thank you, my brother.
Oh, can I make a clarification? Can I make a clarification?
No, I beg you, let me say the record. You will make that clarification, my brother. Liberian people need to hear this. You have never heard, and you will never see anything that this president, Joseph Yima Bwaka, went about crying. Not even with the State Department. Not even with the United States. During the election time, when people were planning the stuff, I pick up the phone and say, Uncle Joe, where we were? They went into the old man saying, nephew, it will be all right. It will be all right. When they did the first thing during the first round of election, we were shaking. But when you talk to him, he said the people were not making, the Liberian people are resolved. 7 months in the government, you call it ECOWAS? The President George Manawia's former can realize that this is not government of Warren fractions. This is not government of Ulimo K, Ulimo J, or Moda, IMPFL and MPFL, that he can realize that this is a democratic form of government that have only one, according to the Constitution, one president for 6 years. He can call United Nations and come back. My advice to him before I finish with this thing, you should put a delegation together to go and meet Joseph Yima Bwaka. My advice to the former president, he got Eugene Nagwe, and he got some of them, D. Maxwell coming out. He should put them together and write a letter. He is the peace ambassador and ask for a meeting to go meet President Joseph Yima Bwaka. And I can tell the Liberians, the president will welcome their request and he will meet with them. He will. Somebody need to tell George Manawia, former president, that on that day of inauguration, when they had to put President Bwaka in the car because of his stroke, the president was in his private jet, leaving the country careless. They must remind him that was evil. They must remind him that was evil. And if you cannot tell him, I'm saying to you, I love my fellow seditionists because they are Liberian, but we must remind them what the former president did was evil, but they still got room. They still have room to put in a request to ask for a meeting with the current president, Joseph Yeman Boakai. I'll say my own. You can say your own. And the Liberian people will decide. That's what Richie said. Let's try to close this show. We got 12 more minutes.
We're doing closing now?
Yeah, let's wrap this thing up because a lot of Sidisha in my inbox down the first with me. I'm ready to go pray. I finished saying my own. I gotta go pray quick.
Yeah, good show. As usual, we provided the information to Liberian people. We started off talking about the American government not granting visas to members of the of Liberian government, and majority of us think that is not a bad thing. The American government changed its policy a couple of years ago that they are not going to just put a blanket sanction on the entire country. But they're looking at the people who are causing suffering to the Irish or the poor Liberians. So all of them, if you claim that Liberia is a better place and you have the opportunity to make Liberia a better place and you are abusing human rights, which is a core of Americans' foreign policy, then you are staying Liberia and still cause it domestic sanction and be sanctioned domestically. So that's what we talked about. We also talked about how last distance has been discussing, why there's a rumor around there that ECOWAS came to satisfy Judge Weah's complaint, which is not true at all. We've kind of debunked that theory here today. And Glennie added that TDC cannot choose what ECOWAS should listen to. They were specifically asked to reinstate. They were ordered. There was a ruling to reinstate Kabina Jena. They didn't listen to it. And now the same organization who opinion they did not value, they are running now to that organization to crowd to say, oh, we are being witch hunted. I don't know. It doesn't work that way. So basically, it was a great show. Tomorrow we'll be back again to discuss issues relating to Liberia. So pass it on to the next person.
So great show.
Go ahead, please.
Great show. I like to close because I constantly hear people saying that and thank you for Stanton for even elaborating on that. That President Barker needs to extend the olive branch and all of that. I want to say here that there are always two people in a conversation. And President Barker does not have a legacy right now from presidency. George Weah does. And so George Weah has a legacy that he wants to uplift and he wants to keep. And if it is that President Barker has not reached out to him at this time, he's the immediate former president, what's wrong with him reaching out? What's wrong with him talking to him? I mean, let's look at it. Okay, Barker, there's so many people for Barker to reach out to, which he should have done by now, pull the different parties together. But if he has not done that, what's stopping President Weah, since he's the leader of the other country that they want to create? What's stopping him from reaching out to President Boyka? I don't think anything should stop him. And this notion where Stanton said it in passing, but it's a serious thing when people continue to have the mindset that there should be two presidents at this time. There's only one president. And whether we like it or not, whether we support Joseph Boyka or not, there is only one Liberia. And the people went to the polls and they elected their president. So we can oppose so many things. What we cannot oppose right now is who is the president. George Weah is not the president of Liberia at this time. He's former president. He's not the president. And I think it will be good for him to also showcase himself as someone of peace, someone who wants a better Liberia, and someone who wants his legacy to continue, whatever the legacy is. So this notion that we keep looking up to Boyka for the olive branch, and the branch is not dropping. There are a lot of trees on Rehab Road that George Weah can pick one, two, and extend that branch to Joseph Boyka to be able to move Liberia forward. But I think it was a great show. We'll all be watching tomorrow. There's so many things, especially the Gloria Musu Scott case tomorrow we'll be watching. it is important. I think this case tomorrow and the ruling from the Supreme Court will say a lot about the judiciary system in Liberia. So we're looking to see what they're going to do. We hope that their ruling will be based on the evidence that they examined, what they saw, and it will be based on the law. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Gladly. Uncle Sam?
My fellow Liberians, there's a new Bugu man in town, and his name is George Weah, according to my Unity Party friends. And this Bugu man looted the country, destroyed the country, did all the bad things. And he wants to have co-equal power with a new Christian co-president in town. That's not true. George Weah is a man of peace. Look at the fake headline they put on their thing that ECOWAS said to thank Joe Boyka for a transition. How can you, an incoming president is not the president you thank for a peaceful transition. You thank the man who handed power over to the incoming president for a peaceful transition. The country that 4 years say now in America, on January 6th, 2020, the man that's running for president in America right now, his name is Donald J. Trump. He sent people to the legislature to hang Nancy Pelosi, to kill his own vice president, to obstruct the peaceful transfer of power. You know, that's why I say amnesia, hypocrisy, or whatever. They want to score point. So they say, it's not because of Joe Weah business that ECOWAS came here. But who said it? Why do you have to score that point? Why is it even necessary to make the point that it's not because of Joe Weah ECOWAS came here? They want to beat him into submission. They want to grind him. They want to humiliate him. They want to make him feel like he's nothing. You can't run a country that way, my people. You won. You were in the presidency. Everybody knows you won. That Joe Weah is not a Bugu man. Joe Weah is my cousin from Gibraltar. He's a crew basketball. He doesn't eat human hearts. He not no Bugu man. He not no jack-o'-lantern. He is your own person who played for Liberia and put Liberia on the map of football. So these people here don't want to make the man seem like he's a Bugu man. So there's a new Bugu man in town. The reason why they're making him like a new Bugu man in town is because they're not giving you what they promised, what they lied about. They lied about that they were going to make the price of rice come down. The price of rice is up. They said no cars stuck in the mud. Several cars have been stuck in the mud. They said they were going to take away CTN. They extended CTN for 7 years. And my friend Sylvester Grace Bay, before they even took the mantle of leadership, they sent a letter to Social Security. They put out the actions for power. Before they took the mantle of leadership, they sent letter to Social Security to take man to applaud them, man I need them, man water them money to buy 5 cars for a one-day ceremony. What they could have gone to Oregon and just rented 5 cars. But that is the mindset of the people who are running the country today. And you say that the ex-president should be the one that should take olive branches from rehab and take it to the mansion? In which country do you see the president is in power? It's not what they call, the book people call it magnanimity. Magnanimity means when you win a political party, you take them out of power. There's something called a pacification process. Of course they're angry. Of course they're unsettled. Okay? But you want to juke the nail in there. You want to juke it in them for them to make them to feel bad, to make them to feel like they're less than nothing. This is not a Liberia that we strive to be in. We are all Liberians. I may not be alive 6 years from now, but millions and millions of people who are alive today will be alive to see a transition in 2029, where the Unity Party will not be in power in 2029. And I'm not saying Joel will be in power, but others will come to power. And you will be asking for magnanimity. You will be asking for peaceful coexistence. That's all I'm saying. We need to peacefully coexist in this native land of ours we call Liberia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Uncle Sam. Is after speaking for 10 minutes, we say thank you again as we close. Listen, we are not many. Today, you see that Fadiga didn't even interrupt you. We say thank you very much, Fadiga, for restraining yourself. Yes, Mama.
So we can refer to people now on the platform?
No, we pass you. We didn't hear you.
No, I just asking because he mentioned Olive Branch. I just hope because when somebody mention a name and I get vessel.
Okay, thank you. Ask if I please ask if I. Ask if I please. Uncle Sam,
that's okay. He said those two in America. I just wanted to do
Dr. Richardson, please. Dr. Richardson, let's move on. Ask if I please do your closing. My ear is buzzing.
You muted me again?
You know? Yeah, I am, because you want to start different conversation here. Ask if I please.
Okay. Sometimes, people try to rewrite the story. Some try to whitewash things. I don't care how much people try to whitewash the George Weah administration. The deaths that occurred there, the lack of any kind of honest investigation into murders, the incompetence demonstrated. It's not going to shift and make George Weah look good. George Weah had a very, very disappointing leadership for this country in 6 years. There is no obligation necessary. I mean, what a power for anybody who can bring Olive Branch to anything. You lost in elections. We're not giving you no praise for you to turn over government. That's a natural democratic process. You don't earn no stripes, no award. What can I award on when Trump won? What can I award the Democratic Party got? When Biden won, what can I award Trump got? Trump tried to stage a coup. Is that what you wanted George Weah to do? But not a different story. It won't be good for him. We just gotta be honest with these things. These, I don't know whether moral victories or gifts or whatever that we're just trying to throw out here, they are not deserved. We have a process, we have a government. I just want to educate somebody who are talking about a simple majority and majority vote. Look, our Constitution is very clear. And now that I'm looking at the Constitution, I'm wondering where we are on some of these things, right? And whether I'm behind time and the law will pass. Article 83 is clear. Voting for the president, vice president, members of the Senate, and members of the House of Representatives shall be conducted throughout the Republic or on the second Tuesday in October of each election year. B, all elections, not one, all elections of public officers shall be determined by an absolute majority of the votes cast. So absolute majority there's another kind of majority, simple majority. But we're listening here to say absolute majority. And I believe there must have been some kind of change or something for the legislative elections. Probably they claim we didn't have money, so they made it simple majority. Now, simple majority, 3 or more people will participate in elections and then be determined by simple majority. That means anybody who gets the most votes among all those contestants win by simple majority. Absolute majority, if there's 2 people, there is no simple majority. It's absolute because one person has to win by 50% or more in 2 persons' elections. So I hope that person who are making comment about simple majority and absolute majority understands where that comes from and be able to learn the difference between those two. Now, this case, again, I said, with Chalo, I don't believe justice has been served. I believe there's another person involved who actually murdered that young lady. Honestly, in my heart, I don't believe it's Musu, but I believe Musu Scott, but I believe she knows. I believe she has an idea. She was in a house and they made certain statements before that were not validated. So I don't know how the investigation went. I don't know how the forensic investigation was handled, but we need improvement in that area. I hope Gregory can get some support. I know people in Canada are interested in assisting the police. Hopefully, they will take on that offer and they will be able to do something to train our people that they can protect the crime scene. And protecting the crime scene is not only the police, it is about awareness and education of our population as well. Most times we notice that crime scenes are totally violated in this country by the people, either the family, the friends, or other people before the authorities even get into the situation. So there's a lot of education we all need, and we need to start, especially the people in authority, to start to educate us and help us so that we can help them where the job can be easier. Again, we appreciate the people who participate because the audience feedback gives us that energy to add more and to learn more and to understand some of the situations that are happening out there. So I just hope they can continue to provide that input. And also, this country, I don't believe the country is divided. I've been saying it. People want to create that perception of division because it's through chaos that some people thrive. It's through chaos that some people can claim they can do certain things. Oh, if you don't get X, Y, Z, I will let the people protest. If you don't do this, I will let the people do that. And our citizens, unfortunately, are being misled by people, and they continue to be misled. We have to teach critical thinking. We have to teach civics so people can understand what democracy is, what the rights are, and be able to handle these situations. So again, Stanton, thank you for the platform. Hopefully we can be sharing more knowledge to our people and teaching them as we move along. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alva. Thank you very much. Again, we want to say, don't forget, tomorrow will be the big day here. On Thursday will be the day that Nathaniel Fallow McGill will have to appear before the Supreme Court based on the rate of prohibition. Don't forget, tomorrow is Gloria Muson Scott. Thursday, Nathaniel Fallow McGill. On the 4th will be Samuel Tway. We got a lot of information coming away. Don't forget, Sunday, we have opened that space for Akaris Mosigre / Senator Nathaniel Fallow McGill. One-on-one with the CEO is going to be big. Okay? Anything happen, we must host these people because, again, we want to say to you, a good day. If you remind me tomorrow, I will give you some names and more information on those government officials that actually those lawmakers that they have put on administrative processing. Okay, I asked the individual, he said, yes, indeed, I can give that name up because if they deny them, they can go to the American embassy. They put them on administrative processing. I want to make Fadiga last to close this show, so let me do my closing real quick. It is important for everyone to understand today, that what we go through every day as a network and as a people is all because of you. Those of you that will sit and put battery in your radio and listen to us on radio, on Super FM, on Fabric FM, on Spoon FM, and all the other radio stations that relate our program. When you go to Lofa, when you go to Bombay, Buffalo, Cape May, all over Grand Jide, Nimba, Bon County, Grand Bassa, Riverside, River G, all over, all the 15 counties and beyond, even into Sierra Leone. We say thank you. We say thank you because at least we're doing our utmost best by God's grace to give you the information. But most of all, we say thank you because you avail yourself to share our show and to listen to the program. Today, over 60,000 people watch us and continue to watch this program. Yesterday, we have over 98,000. When we got off, mistakenly, somebody deleted our program from our sponsor page. We were able to find it and put it back. I will say this to you. Liberia is all we have. We look for the story, we find the information, and we share with you. I will say my own, and you can say your own. And guess what? You decide. I disagree strongly, Fadiga. I strongly disagree that a decision that will be taken by the Supreme Court tomorrow on the Gloria Mususka case, I do believe it will be the right decision. I know Shallow was murdered. May her soul rest in peace. May the family take heart. But a decision to announce to the Liberian people that Gloria Mususka and 3 other co-defendants murdered her, my inside, I don't agree. I really don't agree. Whatever happened tomorrow at the Supreme Court, I respect the Supreme Court decision. 5 members of the Supreme Court, what the decision, the outcome will be, I respect it. It's the highest court in the land. And I pray that God know who killed Shallow and God will reward them. I think the state didn't prove beyond all reasonable doubt. But the state, because of political gain, they rushed to find these people guilty. Let the law be the law, folks. ECOWAS, we champion the decision. Whether they were brought in the country by John Weah or they came on their own, it doesn't matter to me. But Joseph Yima Bwaka remained president of the Republic of Liberia. Tell. January 30th, January 22nd, 2030, he will remain president with long life and blessing. This is not an interim government. This is not a government that you must put your one representative there. No, it's not. This is one government at a time. And we should remember, you got some good men in CDC. You got some good women in CDC. They are. But I would say to you, if the president, former George Weah, want to reach out, the doors are open. He should reach out. He should reach out for the sake of his people, for the sake of the supporters, for the sake of a better country. He should reach out. And if this is his way of reaching out, then that's good. But we, as a people, as a country, will take ourselves out of that mindset that there's a government, there's an interim government, and everybody have some fashion leaders. No. There's a government, a party one called Unity Party. The standard bearer of the party, political leader, is Joseph Yima Bwaka. The vice standard bearer is Jeremiah Kwankun. Period. So be it. Have a good night. Come back again tomorrow. We will be here to speak truth to power. Some may not like it. Some may like it. But once you like it, that's all matter. That's the best we can do for you. Pray that we all will think Liberia. We all will love Liberia. And together under this leadership, we will build a
You're not going to pray for Joya too?
I pray for George Weah every day. I do. I seriously pray for Joe Weah. You know I respect Joe Weah. I disagree with his policy and his leadership style, but I pray for him. I think it is why it is. Fadiga, take us home, my brother. Take us home, Fadiga. It's all yours. You are muted, Fadiga.
I say you started to sound a pastor. Every time you go into Bible study, you can start preaching to us. Now the only time you can preach on this thing, but we accept it. Actually, yeah.
I don't know whether you're Christian or you're Muslim. That's your problem right there. I'm a Christian. I believe in the blood of Jesus Christ that cleanses my sin from all the righteousness. I'm baptized. I pray to God. God answer me, and I go and share fellowship called Bible study. So please do your closing.
Let me say this. I will start with this. The CDC disgracefully lost.
What are you laughing for?
The CDC have disgracefully lost the party headquarters. It just shows the height of how why they feel as a government. They couldn't even maintain a party headquarters for 6 years with all the looting that they did. They enriched themselves. They didn't care about the party headquarters that have become the home to a lot of those young disadvantaged youth. I would also like to welcome Aunt Jemima back home. She just came back home. I thought I'll put that out. Sis Jemima, I know you're watching this show. You're rooting. You one of our cheerleader in the back. Can't wait to have you back. Welcome back home. I hope to talk to you later on.
Half a bag where? You get way to half a bag where? You two
But-
gonna
Yeah, man, close.
you two gonna have fun with me, yeah? No,
they will eat your-
no. You gotta let one of them go. No, whoo, no.
Can you
No way.
imagine?
You see the ad that give you? But anyway, the other one we're talking in our family room. The visa restriction it's becoming concerning to me. I will get to the bottom of this. I think we need more detail. But I want to close on this. I've mentioned it, and I just want to buttress what he said. During the just in the elections, we have 46 registered political parties. A little over 2.4 million registered voters. The total number of people that voted, the valid votes, were 1,800,000 valid votes. And at the end of the day, President Bweka won. I think what most of the guys fail to realize or take into consideration that this country is a nation of 5.2 million people. If we rely on the 2022 census, out of those 2022, out of those eligible voters, cities just got at least over 700,000 votes. To believe that you have, I don't know how they're looking at this thing, but this has always been the way we carry on our election, that you need 50 plus 1 vote. And not just the portion of registered voter, not the entire country. Based on what I feel and what we know that went on in this country, majority of the Liberian people were fed up with the repressive regime of former President George Weah. And what we keep hearing are individuals that try to question this president's legitimacy. A lot of them have refused to recognize or accept his governing authority. A lot of them have chosen to be disrespectful and believe that they will carry on civil disobedience in an attempt to drive away investors, which will have a domino effect where the government will fail and then that will prepare them to come back to power. But that is not how it's going to happen. The Liberian people are resolved. And I'm just calling on the government to do the right thing, because the right thing is not a partisan thing. The right thing is the right thing. Enforce the law. Those that want to be hooligans and those that want to disrupt the peace, they need to be dealt with. Simple as that. There shouldn't be no vision. There shouldn't be no going after individual. Just enforce the law. Our laws need to be respected. If you do not want to respect this president authority, if you cannot even mention him as President Bweka, and his name is just, you cannot mention it, then I don't know, but you have 6 years of this being, or you can be a Liberian and accept it like we did for the last 6 years and move on. Wait for your time. That time, if it will ever come, is 2029 or 2030. That when the Liberian people will have to decide again. But until then, there is no way that after abusing us for 12 years, we'll sit here for you to abuse us again for another 12 years or another 6 years. Why this government is in power? It will not happen. The Liberian people, it's not even the government that are going to do it. The Liberian people will not agree for you to abuse us while out of government. The next thing I wanted to talk about is the Gloria former Justice Scott case. That I'll close on that case so that we'll leave from here. Look, like I've always said, bad things happen in the house. I do not want to say who, because I do not know who did it. But what I would say is I blame the CDC for mishandling this case. A young Liberian lady, case will go cold. We might never know who killed that girl because the CDC chose to politicize this situation. They did a poor investigation. They have multiple stories. They were more of a political wish hunt than finding the rightful murderer of that young lady. Because of that, they prematurely convicted former Justice Scott, put her behind bars along with several other individuals. How can you prove first-degree murder when you do not even have the murder weapon and all the cases were just circumstantial? Even me, as a non-lawyer, can know that that was a false case. And I know she will be free tomorrow, but that still doesn't solve the problem of who murdered Chalo. We will never find it. And this is the few times we agree with Uncle Sam that yes, people will celebrate tomorrow because it was politicized. So one group will celebrate tomorrow, one group will frown tomorrow, but the group that will suffer the most in this case are the parents and loved ones of the late Chalo Musu. They will never see the daughter again, and those that perpetrated that evil act will walk away only because we have an irresponsible government that took murder that could not even solve one case. When other two were killed, they said they were boyfriend and girlfriend. We should get CCTV. That was the solution. Whenever with several high-profile mysterious deaths, several other cases went cold, and we never got answer. I pray that this administration, I'm calling on my good friend and brother, the police IG Gregory Coleman, to open these cold cases. The Liberian people want answer. Those people didn't just die because they wanted to kill themselves or they did not commit suicide. Somebody killed them. And, Matthew Innes, the EPS officer, the different murder, gruesome murder that happened in the last 6 years. They need to be investigated. Those cases need to be reopened because the Liberian people want answer. So tomorrow, I don't consider tomorrow a win for anybody. While it is true that I believe that Madam Scott will go home, I'm still grieving with the family of Chalo Musu and the rest of those people that lost their life under the CDC regime. I hope that one day they will find closure. On that note, Stanton, I was sending back to you. I know you got a spy camera trying to record me and put me on in your archive. But,
So can I just make an announcement before we close the show? Yes. I want you guys to tune in on Friday at 2 o'clock. We are going to be having a fascinating woman who's going to be telling us about her business, Miss Princess Yoni Numa. She's going to be telling us about, how she became an entrepreneur in Liberia. In the specific, I want you to stay tuned. I want you to join us. I don't want to spill too much about the type of business she's involved in, but I believe that you'll be supporting her and you'll be surprised how she made it so far. So join us on Friday at 2 o'clock for Spoon Talk Business. It's a show that we air every Friday. If you are a business person, and you want to showcase, advertise your business, come to Spoon Talk Business. We'll be glad to do that. We just did year's place and pour this past Friday. It was a success. She just texted me back. Thank you so much, Diamond. EA just texted me and said that she really appreciated the time that she spent with us. She was intimidated first by coming on to Spoon Talk Business, but we made her feel very comfortable and she got a lot of support. There were so many people that came in to support her business when she opened her restaurant called EA's Place and Pour at the corner of Carey and Clay Street. So I want to tell you thank you so much, and please join us for Miss Princess Yoni Numa. When I read about her, I'm taken away by all of the good things she's doing in terms of business in Liberia. Thank you, Stanton.
Thank you. I also want to throw light before we go. Don't forget the late night politics with how you call it, Nelson Collette is coming up next. Want to say all of these shows will be going back to the God Can Bless Anybody on Sunday once Dama is available because he's very busy now.
Dama, are you waiting for?
We also want to say,
Richardson, you don't understand what the CEO trying to do.
Okay, I'll understand it.
Don't forget Our show, the Today Show, come up in the morning. That one is 8 to 10, right? 8 a.m. to 10
Yes,
a.m.
sir. 8 a.m. to 10
Don't
a.m.
forget Monday through Wednesday, Yekezi Zoe, Denise, Nepsine, and Trukon Flammer. We want to say again, God can bless anybody. The Spoon Talk Business, late night politics on Spoon with Nelson Kolai. And then big one will be the Spoon Talk. We'll also talk about a one-on-one with the CEO. I'm not finding that flyer, but don't forget we will be doing all of these different shows. If you're interested, you want to host, you want to do your business, you want to come on and find a time, reach out to Dama, reach out to Manatiti, the CEO, Dr. Richardson, who also have a very, 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 very spot in this network. If you want to find 1 hour, like as if I always crying for 1 hour, but you really don't want to pay, you want it free. Those are the free things that cause comments to come down to 1%.
No, don't get it wrong. I pay for my time with you.
You're not late for Power
Don't get
Steady.
it wrong. No.
As if your internet just went off.
That story.
Your internet just went off. I said,
La la.
oh, yo, go ahead, yeah. The internet not even going the country no more. The internet is not going the country no more.
We pay for our OTD 100 for the next show. She need to set up the show and pay to be on this platform.
You owe 100 for the next
area
show.
services. So let's coordinate.
But how is it though? How's your Pepperberg doing?
Pepperberg doing great. We are in discussions because there's a need for drone services across the country for a lot of different reasons, whether agriculture, whether building our national.
You pay? All depends on the size of the land.
The size of the land, the complexity. Look, a lot of people got land, but they don't even know where the land is. The ODs did not have geo information of positioning.
We'll bring you up cash. I mean, the rest of the money we'll bring you on when you're.
I'll do it right now. I'll send you the 100 right.
Well, I'm gonna interject here.
Francine, I beg you. Everyone said we and TD had an agreement. Let me just say
I know that, but the issue was bringing to Spoon Talk business as opposed to Spoon Talk.
No, we'll come on your show. We'll come on your show. We'll come on your show. But let's just finish what they want.
My man, cash at me the thing, and you will bring the drone in studio, want to see your work. Maybe you want to do a video of the people that are doing the coverage, the view. Those that will be out there controlling the machine. If you want somewhere to go, Dama can take you to one of the spot, we want to see live.
If Dama has a spot, okay, let me tell you now, we are actually in the process of producing a promotional video. We're doing shoots on Thursday. Where we're doing drone and video.
I tell you, gotta go meet Dama. Dama, take them to Boston. You know the spot. Take them there.
That would be great.
And let it do that, and we'll see.
I will coordinate you and the guy right now, Dama.
Yeah, let's do it. And I think that would be great. And let us do it. Let's give our best. This is Spoon. If you get your businesses out there, anything you get, you want to come on Spoon, just talk to us. Listen, every second, every hour, we'll make it super for you. All right. I want to say thank you very much. Again, the Fulani will be coming back. Ava Joe will be coming back now. They are coming back with a lawyer, the chairman, and the president. Not 20 people, no. Only 2 or 3 individuals coming for us to talk mainly into what they want. I had to leave that program the other day because I had to go talk to the president, Jose Yima Barca. But they are coming back. They are on a mission. They got a vision. So Liberians going to listen to them. The lawyer, one of the lawyers is Tewon Gonglo, to say that they are meeting lawmakers, they are engaging. So they are coming back to really explain in a very simple, humble term what really they are looking for. Again, we want to say thanks to Uncle Sam, are you okay? We hope that you're doing better, Uncle Sam.
No, man, my throat is kind of scratchy, but it doesn't matter. This is an old thing.
Okay, come with age. So again, send that cash out to me. Don't forget, and if you're going to use what we're going to use, you'll make it $200. I'm gonna know what I'm talking about. Man, it's a special 360 services.
I already sent $100.
You sure you sent it to the number that you said send it to? Man?
The same one you told me to send it to.
Uncle Sam, well, you can't say good at Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam, that's not been fair. The last time we were raising money here, you said Stanton, I would send $100. Up to now, I can announce to the nation you didn't. And you got my phone number.
No. My cash app, the debit card I had They're not
Hey,
working.
We're happy.
They're
We're
not
happy.
keen
We're
on.
happy. We're happy. We're happy.
But
hey.
I will go to TT. I will go to TT either tomorrow, the day after, and take it there.
No, don't take it, Dama. Not day after tomorrow. Dama, pick it up. Because Dama
No,
spend his money to take care of it.
It's not possible tomorrow. It'll be possible on
When you show picture, you're going to see big check.
I mean, I feel like going to no bank in Liberia.
The man said they're getting 650,000, right? 650,000 for that consulting fee, and he can't get that
how many years ago that was? You know how many years ago that was?
It finished.
But it ain't the money. All you see now, you don't listen. The money didn't come. The man.
You told 100,000 for that money. You told 100,000 from me.
100,000 pay over 2 years from 2012 to 2014. That money is already spent or invested already.
Uncle Sam, it's good seeing you. Come back tomorrow, Uncle Sam. We love you.
I see you guys, man.
We wish you well. Dr. Richard, say how you doing?
I'll put a $100 bill in the machine for you. I'm gonna say, yeah.
I just don't feel like getting up in the morning to go to the bank.
I just teasing you, man. I just teasing you.
Uncle Sam, yeah, you know we all got to pick on you. Uncle Sam, I beg you. I said, let's say this real quick. Please coordinate with Diamond, please. Because this is very
let me
big.
confirm your number. 8800.
You gonna call the man number on set yet?
Eh?
You gonna call the man number on set?
They look at the way Diamond dressed. You think that man needs some additional thing?
He got it already. He got something out there.
Okay, sorry, Diamond.
That why money can go finish. Quick, money finish. Because he said cheap. If finish was real.
Don't let them pressure you. That why they can call it red bank. Not red bank.
Yeah, hello?
I just wanted to do another.
Go ahead.
I wanted to do a birthday shout out to Miss Bayu Thomas Gibson and Miss Minita Stevens, and this is from her son Wilbert Gibson, and also the nephew of Manita, Wilbert Gibson. They asked me to please give a shout out to tell you, Miss Bayu Gibson and Manita Stevens, happy birthday. You guys are avid watcher and viewers of Spoon. So is he. And just want to tell you happy birthday. Today is your birthday, and I hope that you have a blessed birthday already. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Richardson. It's good seeing you again. I hope you guys not going anywhere the weekend, Dr. Richardson. You've been traveling a lot. Okay, I just say my own. Dwalu, thank you very much. You heard from. Can you play the Yeke tip before Dwalu leave, please? This is the way Dwalu will leave the show.
Falika, don't call me. We are not friends. You came Lolo for your job, find your job, and go back. People say, I left my fat job in America. You came, you been in the hotel now for almost 7 months. You tend to PRO for government. You can get job. You can go do your fat job. You go back, you go do your job. You know, Falika, don't call me. I don't like your job. And I want you to deny that you didn't call me. Then I will put your number to the public and go for my call log so the people can know that you call me. I challenge you to deny it.
There you have it. And Fadiga admitted that indeed he how you call it? He called.
He tell you
You call it man.
He called it man. And he apologized.
He no more for over how many years? Almost.
And Fadiga apologized. Apologized. Yeah.
I call the man and say, "Oh my man, I go read under the contract. When come out so can talk."
I mean, man first. It's not good.
No, the reason I know why you get first.
But yeah, I apologize to the man. Listen, Dama, thank you very much for a beautiful show.
You want
to put that question on? Hold on for the guy.
Happy birthday to David Booker. David Booker crying on our knee. Happy birthday, David Booker.
But we don't even know whether this guy is a
the man say you're a strong supporter. August 15th.
David Booker, we even see your message, man. Where did you send it? Happy birthday to you, my man. We hope that you had a wonderful time. Please forgive us. All right, David Booker. David Booker is a ghost. Can you play the video on Kula, or the video you were talking about, Diamond, please?
We
So
see
you
you
may
here.
ask
You
the
just
going
had a
to
meeting with the president of the Republic of Liberia. What message did you bring from ECOWAS to the president and the people of Liberia?
First, we've come to formally congratulate on this important political transition that has taken place here in Liberia, which remains a major achievement for.
So I had to take it that down. You see what we can go through if you sounded well, loud, clear. Now the person you asking the question, we're not understanding him. So I think sometimes y'all gotta make adjustment with the microphone. Because what that man is saying, we gotta zoom in with our ear just to hear everything he was saying. Now at least you are saying it, you're hearing it for yourself. So sometimes, I mean, the adjustment got to be made. You know.
Yeah,
Are you hearing him better?
Yeah. So what happened was the designated microphone that we had was left in the room when we were asked out. So somebody had it and they switched it off. So the receiver was
Okay.
in the phone, but the microphone was switched off. But we do have, audio mics that we use for coverage, very sharp. But that was what happened. So we had to remove the receiver, and then the audio quality was later restored when we had our conversation with Kula.
Okay. You want to put a Kula up real quick? Let's just hear what Kula said.
One last question from me. Was the issue of what occurred at the CDC headquarters mentioned in that meeting in terms of reconciliation and post-electoral violence? Was that mentioned in the meeting?
Absolutely, absolutely. The ECOWAS president did mention the receipts, that they were in receipt of a communication from the Congress for Democratic Change headed by former President Weah. And they acknowledged that and they mentioned, however, our president did inform the delegation that the situation that happened had nothing to do with what has been carried on. What was the situation is that the premises around the vicinity of the political party, there was a raid, a session seizure operation that was ongoing there because of the proximity to the facility. That's why you had all the different things that happened, but at no time did the government or any members of the government had any intent to go and create any scene at the headquarters of the Congress for Democratic Change.
So as such, did the president talk about anything that investigated the matter so this could not repeat again?
Oh, absolutely. Even prior to talking about it, the security team here around the presidency have had a security meeting to assess the full situation on what transpired, what happened, and how corrective measures can be put in place. So yes, already, even before the president mentioning about the situation, there already have been action that has been taking place by the government, especially the Ministry of Justice.
Beautiful, beautiful. I think to tell you the truth, it was well set up, and these things will yield some result. And I think you guys are doing an extremely good job, Diamond. I will encourage you all the time, roll with the team and get these different interviews. It was a beautiful coverage today, folks. There you have it. Thanks to the Spoon Network, Women Abroad. To all of you that follow us, we say thank you. We always love you. Diamond, thank you, man. A good show today. Again, tomorrow we'll wake up in the morning. 12 o'clock will be 7 o'clock here, right? No, 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. here. That's 12 o'clock. And we'll monitor the ruling from the Supreme Court. Thank you, folks. Have a good night.